Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to Freshly Grounded, episode 42. We've got big man Sam in the building.
Hello and welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Guys, this episode is brought to you by 59. That's 50_NINE on Instagram. Also, head over to 59 Stanhope Road in St Albans. Coffee, juice, snacks, healthy things there, as Sam would say. Fresh juice, freshly ground coffee, some of the best coffee in the game.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't respond well to dairy? Don't worry, they got oat milk. Oh, you don't like oats? They got soy milk. Oh, you don't like soy because you think there's estrogen in it, which I don't know about if that's a fact or not.
That's good.
They got coconut milk. There's no excuses. Honestly, oh, hold on a second. You want to start a juice diet? Head over to 59. Am I right in thinking that if you want to start a juice diet, you got some great juice plans as well, sir?
Fantastic juice plans, yeah.
There we go. Speak to the
We actually had, I forgot
professionals
to tell you, we had 3 sisters come from Norway to 59 and they were there all last week.
Really?
Wallahi, bruv, it was crazy.
Sick.
Alhamdulillah.
Well,
From Freshly Grounded.
Oh, wow.
And yes, they quoted Freshly Grounded, and yes, they got the discount.
Nice.
So it was probably worth the journey.
Did you know that the Sunnah Remedies guy,
Yeah.
Abdul Hakim, said that he often gets people coming in from Freshly Grounded as well?
Really?
Yeah, quoting Freshly Grounded.
It's powerful, man.
Alhamdulillah, it's a big movement. And
Yeah.
so let's say, for example, if I have a business, Sam, and I want to also be sponsored by Freshly Grounded because I'm seeing that I'm getting customers and clients from it, how would I go about doing that?
I'd personally get in touch with you.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't. I would jump onto...
freshlygrounded.com/partner.
There you go.
There we go. Go to freshlygrounded.com/partner if you want to sponsor any of our episodes.
Incredibly powerful. It has been incredibly powerful. I'm not just saying that. For Menspire, for 59, it's been fantastic. I'm sure you agree with Zaha.
Yeah, with Zaha as well. So just to finish off 59, if you head over to 59 and you grab yourself anything from the store,
absolutely anything,
you get £1 off if you quote Freshly Grounded.
So as that, man. You say that Freshly Grounded at the till, they'll give you £1 off.
That's right. Also, if you had also sponsored by Izaha, izaha.com, izaha.com. We finally got some new things in the pipeline, Sam.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
some nice things happening, some nice things going on. So
good.
Next couple weeks are going to be powerful for Izaha. But as always, you can get 20% off Izaha by going to the checkout and typing in Freshly Grounded. We got some nice caps, Arabic style caps, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jumpers. Head over there, izaha.com, izaha.com. Get your fashion on, man. Yeah, that's not our tagline.
That's horrible. Get your fashion on, man.
Lastly, brought to you by Flavor, FLAVR, Flavor.co. Flavor are the guys who have done, who provide our producers. Flavors are the guys who done our flavors. Flavor are the guys who done our logo. The Flavor Studio is the studio that we use to shoot our episodes. Flavor is an amazing company that do social media content creation, branding, marketing, iPhone application, website design, website development, anything techie, you name it, Flavor pretty much do it. So head over to flavor.co, flavr.co. Now, lastly, let's talk a bit about the old FG. F.G, freshly ground, for grounded, sorry. Guys, Freshly Grounded, we have merch available now. If you want to support Freshly Grounded, you want to have a bit of FG in your old living room, yeah? You want to have FG on your body, yeah? Go up to freshlygrounded.com/shop. And as you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, Sam holding the Freshly Grounded sweatshirt right there. You can get yourself Freshly Grounded merch. So that's a Freshly Grounded sweatshirt, Freshly Grounded crew neck. That's available on freshlygrounded.com. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, you actually get 50% off that.
50%. That's half price.
Yeah, half price. Yeah.
Incredible.
No, off the sweatshirt. Yeah, sweatshirt. There you go. Look at that. That's double XL Sam's holding. All sizes are available. You can also get yourself a Freshly Grounded mug. That's freshlygrounded.com. Get yourself a Freshly Grounded branded mug. Drink your coffee in style. Am I right?
You're right. Yeah.
I am right.
Yeah.
Lastly, guys. Lastly, and not leastly, go to patreon.com/freshly grounded if you want to support the movement. If you want to become a premium subscriber, you get some behind the scenes extra shots, you get some behind the scenes extra videos, you get a discount on Freshly Grounded merch, and you also get the podcast one day early, the audio version of the podcast. You can also get ad-free version of the podcast. Bunch of perks. You'll also be supporting the movement. You'll be helping us to continue doing what we do. Patreon.com/freshly grounded. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoy this episode. Sam, do you?
I really, really hope they enjoy it.
Good. I'm glad. I'm happy. With that being said, without any further ado,
Freshly Grounded, episode 42.
Wow. Yeah, 42. Let's get into, let's aim for that. By the way, let's aim for that episode 50 in Dublin.
100%. He's confirmed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to try and we can calculate when that's going to be. And stuff.
Yeah, it's true. We should organise that and we can book that.
Guys, episode 42. Let's get into it.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Sam, as you know, I'm quite a British lad. We've already discussed this in maybe 41 of the 42 episodes that we've now shot. Or shooting, but I went one step further this week, and I woke up this morning. I came downstairs, and as you know, Big Faze likes a big old breakfast. But unfortunately, Big Faze didn't have enough time for a big old breakfast, and so I had to make do with what you would call a quick ting.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went downstairs, and I saw on the counter somebody had purchased some crumpets.
Crumpets.
And
Okay.
so I had a crumpet for breakfast.
The first time, or?
I've had a crumpet before, but not.
Did you put anything on it?
I put some cheese spread on it.
Okay. How'd you get on with it? You toasted it in that, yeah?
Yeah, like I heated it up in that, like
How'd
on
you heat it
the
up?
stove.
On the stove. Okay.
Because it's too fat to fit in a toaster, isn't it?
Nah.
No?
They go in.
Really?
Yeah, they do go in. Yeah.
Do you have crumpets often?
My missus loves crumpets.
Really?
Occasionally I'll have one. It's not the
I don't want to
forefront
speak
of
bad
my
about food, but I'd prefer not to have it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I think it's
Maybe
okay.
you have to put something flavoursome on it.
Cheese just with butter on it. A toasted crumpet with melted butter and a cup of tea is quite nice, but it's not a regular thing of mine.
No, it's
very British though, isn't it?
very British.
Mm.
Didn't have a cup of tea with it though.
What do you have with it? Water.
A bit of water, yeah, that's it really. I was in a very
you had
good
one
rush.
crumpet.
I had one crumpet. I didn't even have enough time to have my coffee.
Really?
So I
Same
got
here.
a
I
dry
just had
food.
my coffee now downstairs by
Nice.
myself.
I'm sorry.
I necked it.
Oh, I wanted to tell you
you
why
want to?
we were being so long this morning, but
Who's been long?
me,
How have you been long?
in the sense that that's why I didn't come downstairs.
Right.
Yeah,
Are
I'll
you
say
setting
that.
up? Are you doing something
Yeah,
else?
yeah. How you been, bro?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, not bad at all.
It's not Thursday morning; it's Wednesday morning.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Midweek.
Midweek.
Yeah.
Hump day, as I learnt today.
What's that?
Well, I saw on Nate's Instagram story that he said hump day.
Hump.
And I said to Nate, what is hump day? Because I've seen a few people say like hump day on a Wednesday. And he said it's because Wednesday is like midweek. And so it's like the hump of a camel or something. And I
Okay.
said, does it have any sexual connotation? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
I thought you were going to say that. I was thinking you're strange that you're bringing this up if it doesn't mean that. Does
yeah.
It?
Well, he's
No.
saying it doesn't.
No. Hump day.
I might be being very naive.
What, every Wednesday is hump day.
Apparently.
Yeah? I've never heard that.
So there we go.
American thing.
Sorry?
It's an American thing.
It's an American thing.
I'll take your word for it.
Yes, apparently today's hump day. I don't want to say that too much because in case there is a connotation that is a bit.
Of course.
There isn't. I promise you.
But it is Wednesday. Oh, could you throw
I
me
trust
my,
that, I
could
trust
you
that.
throw me my hat, please, Nate? I left it there.
Struggling with that hat, aren't you?
Yeah.
Pumpy?
Yeah, feeling good, feeling
Settled?
strong.
Good.
So Wednesday afternoon, we've had a
Wednesday morning,
Wednesday morning.
to
Sorry,
be fair. 10:30 a.m.
it is 10:30.
It's a little bit later than we'd usually start as well.
Yeah,
It's all a bit different, isn't it?
it is.
How do you feel about it?
I feel strong.
You feel you're acting different.
Am I?
Yeah. I don't usually see you on a Wednesday though. I kind of feel like
You're seeing Wednesday feels.
yeah.
Now I'm just not in the zone right
Have
now.
you got other things to do work-wise after this? Like other things? Because usually on a Thursday, obviously, it's just purely freshly grounded. You do this, then you edit. Have you got other things on?
Well, I've hit 20k on YouTube.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. And I'm meant to be doing like this big 20k video.
Yeah. Today you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have Dowd in today. He comes in on Wednesdays,
mhm.
and he's going to be my cameraman for
Yeah.
this big video that I'm doing. And I don't have a video planned because basically I was meant to script. I said to Dowd, I had a meeting with Dowd. This is how big this video is going to be. We had a meeting, in a coffee shop, and I said, bro, look, this is what we're going to do. I've got my 20k. I've hit 20k subscribers. I've been like singing and dancing about it for so long, saying, metaphorically, of course, saying that, you know, when I hit 20k, I'm going to do something big.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to do a big giveaway.
That's
this and
fantastic,
that.
by the way, bro. Actually, really, really good.
Thank you,
Congratulations, man.
And so then I hit 20k, and I was like, look, I want to do something big, and I have no idea what I want to do, but I maybe want to script like a nice, like a skit, something funny, this, that, the other. And so this was the meeting we had last Wednesday. So I said, between now and next Wednesday, I'll script something because it's gonna take me like a week or so to like really come up with a good idea, script it, and we'll shoot it on Wednesday. He was like, cool, I'm yours on Wednesday, and I haven't got anything, and I really want to shoot something today because like by next week it's just gonna be old news.
Have you not sat down and thought about an idea? Or
Well,
you just can't think of an idea. Or?
We'll go into it more later because
Fine.
obviously it's, I'm saying we'll go into it later because it's a bit like of a sad topic. But but obviously, as you know, last week my auntie passed away, and so this whole week's been like
Yeah, fine.
yeah. So
Course.
I
Yeah,
haven't had a chance,
course,
but I want to, and I want to figure something
Is
out.
there pressure to do it today?
On me, I
you
put
wouldn't
myself.
want to rush it though, would you?
No, but I
You want
that,
to create something. You know that lookbook video you did?
I want
You
to.
almost want to create something on those lines.
Bro, that was a spur of the
I
moment.
don't, really?
Yeah, so I'm saying so it could happen.
I love that.
It could happen.
Well,
Otherwise, I have to
you
wait
can
till
come up
next.
with ideas like that. Man.
Yeah, I want to because otherwise I have to wait till next Wednesday,
Trent.
bro.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
You can come up with an idea quickly.
I reckon.
You need to just think when you close your eyes and I see you mumble and you kind of and I say what? And you're like, I'm just thinking of an idea, and and then you come back to me and say, this is what we're gonna do. So many
Yeah, that's
times I
what I
witness
do.
you do that. It's incredible.
Yeah, but I have
Where
to
do you get your inspiration from to do these videos?
I don't know. I suppose it's
You
an
do, must it?
amalgamation of like loads of things, like my own ideas and like
Inspiration from other things you've
things
seen
from
on
other things I've seen, yeah,
YouTube,
probably, I
TV,
suppose.
and stuff.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So you couldn't pinpoint your inspiration.
No, I couldn't pinpoint it.
It's a good question though. If it's because obviously put some sort of creative thought into it. So it's
When you think about it's a tough
you
one.
just do it.
to
It's just you.
well, where do you get your inspiration for?
I
For
want,
example,
I want you to answer my question first.
I don't have. I just told you the answer.
So
I
you
can't. I can't pinpoint it.
Fine.
Like, let's say, for example, I know, for example, what I want to do for my 20k video. I want to do something that's like scripted. It's like sarcastic but funny, not telling any lies but still joking. This and the other. So I've got an idea. I'm probably gonna. I want it to be like maybe interview based. So like
Someone interviewing you.
I'm being interviewed,
Yeah.
but like I'm like being a bit silly.
Fine.
And so I've got the idea. So I'm just gonna like build off that
Fine.
for now.
Fine.
But I'm also gonna maybe I'll watch some videos and stuff and get some inspiration.
Because if I had to come up with an idea for a video, I really couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah, fair. But the reason I asked you how you come up with your ideas is because when I see things like Menspire and 59, and it looks like it's so well branded, Allahumma barik, that like it is taken a mastermind behind it, and you are the
Obviously.
person behind it. But I've never seen you in your creative process, so I don't know what you're like in your creative. You've seen me mumbling to myself because of my eyes.
True.
I've never seen how you got to 59 because, bro, when I look at 59, when I look at you, I think, I can't imagine you. I look at 59 and I think this is a store that every centimetre of it has been well thought out. Then I look at you and I think, nah, Sam wouldn't do that. But you
true
do.
though, innit?
But you do. So
Crazy.
you have this secret like thing, and what is your process? Because, bro,
Do you think that you look at me? I don't look like someone who could come up with.
No, you don't look like someone, but I don't know how you do your process because you definitely, I can't imagine it being luck because you've done it twice now. You done Menspire. Fair enough with Menspire, you also had Josh, and I'm sure with 59 you also had Josh. But I know that 59 you done more so like you were very like in control of it. But when you go to 59, bro, when you see things like, I'll tell you something, like you see the green tiles, yeah. Then you see the coffee bags on the top shelf, and they have that rustic vibe. And then you see like even where you have your mint tea and your green tea and all these different teas, all of the jars look really nice. And when you look at that, you think that can't be a coincidence. He's obviously thought about this. But then you think how? So how, Sam?
59 did take a lot of time and energy to create. But things like if you say why did I choose green tiles? I'm just like And like basically my favorite color over the last few years has been this green, the color of this cup. So I literally just put as much green in there as I could, and I thought, do you know how beautiful tiles are? I would love to get some emerald green tiles. Found them online, whacked them in there. So it's not like
okay, but like for example, you see this like pattern in the back of the 59 cup that you really can't tell unless you have it in your hand.
Yeah,
that to me is
I'm glad
special.
you noticed that, because that's something I
love it. It's my favorite thing. But how did this come from you?
Because it's rustic. That's rustic. Imagine if it was a flat green, it would be flat. But because the whole shop is based on like that rustic wood, everything's quite rustic. That kind of adds that kind of rustic feeling. It kind of tells you about the brand just in a coffee cup.
But it's also very good. So so you have designers, do you? So you tell them what your.
So my
your
brother
head.
is a graphic designer.
Okay.
And my brother has done all of my branding, and he for everything.
And you tell him your ideas.
Yeah, and he comes back with loads of ideas, and we kind of break it down from there. And it's not, we've never fallen out, but I'm very particular, and obviously you have to look at something and you have to really feel it. So it's kind of like going back and forth. And alhamdulillah, it's beautiful that he's my brother and he can take this time out to kind of help me with my branding and do this, that, and the other. But obviously he did the Menspire logo, but the amount of Menspire logos we had before seeing that, in fact, the amount of names we had before the name Menspire.
Really?
Yeah, bro. LP Creative. Menspire was going to be called LP Creative.
No way, that would have been awful.
Parmonica.
No way.
We even had logos made up of it. So it's a process. It's like, it's a process. It's not like it doesn't just happen. It's not luck. I say it humbly, I think I'm quite tasteful with things. I think that's due to maybe my parents being tasteful with certain things. So I think maybe I look at things and I like simplicity and things that look clean and things that are tasteful. I don't really know where.
So is it fair to say that with 59 specifically, you did really look at every inch of it and everything is placed there on purpose?
Yeah.
You could really.
Yeah.
But you know what? You've done it so well that I think the fact that it's like the fact that you look at it and you question like, is that done on purpose? Is actually a beautiful thing because it makes it so. It's like that's so good that I don't even know if that was done, and it's immaculate, bro. Allahumma barik. Even just like every little inch, and you've only ever made one crucial error with the design of 59, and that was that big old green floppy thing. Is it still in there?
Still in there.
Oh man,
it's out the back somewhere.
Yeah,
it's out the back. It's in there though. They don't throw it away because they're not. I don't really care if it goes now, but it does exist in there. They've kept it on the windowsill actually.
Really?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Sam has a big like fluffy green ornament in 59.
It was a lighting feature that I got for 99p from the shop, which I thought it was green. That's kind of why I got it. And you don't like it, do you? You even did a vote, I think, on one of your vlogs.
Yeah, I think most people said let it go.
Yeah, but unfortunately they've got no rights over what I do in the shop, so
no, they don't.
Alhamdulillah, it's still sitting there, baby.
Yeah.
So thank you for your kind comments.
And even little things like, for example, in Menspire, if you look up at the ceiling of Menspire, in the lights you'll see that there's like combs and brushes coming out of the lights, and I think the other thing that people maybe wouldn't notice, but like those little things are things that make it take it from like a shop to like a real. It's just your entire brand is like in from like every inch of that shop has your brand on it in both stores. And I think that's what really makes a brand, man. When you can see that the people who run it care about it, it's a different level, bro. Because why would a customer care about something that even the people who own it don't care about?
Of course,
innit?
Absolutely. And it's easy to be honest, it's easy to open let's talk about barbershops. It's easy to open a barbershop and just have basic chairs, basic mirrors. A lot of people do it. A lot of people are successful from it. But how do you set yourself aside? In that industry, how do you make yourself different? So that's why, and I can't take credit for the building work that was done. That was down to like the builder. But it's about making yourself. You need to set yourself. You need to set yourself aside. So not only beautiful haircuts, but a beautiful environment. You know
okay, so this process though, where does it come from? Because we still haven't answered that. Like, at what point do you think to yourself? When do you get time? Because the other thing is, bro, you're the world's busiest man. I know. Like, when do you get time? When do you sit down? Close your eyes and be like, oh, that would look good, or I want to start a business that does this. Like,
check this out. Yeah, check this out. This is the power of vision. Yeah. When I was 15 years old, I just started working in the hairdressers. I had a notebook. I didn't really write too much valuable stuff in it because I didn't have that much valuable stuff running through my head. Although I know I wanted my own barbershop, and that was the age of like 15. And I wrote 2 pages worth of bullet points of the things that I wanted to have in this barbershop. And if I could find this notebook now, There'll be so many things on those bullet points that you see in Menspire, especially things like exposed brickwork. Even
Really?
I even had juice bar written down at the time.
Really?
I had juice bar written down. Obviously, I haven't got juice bar in Menspire, but that vision that obviously I actually wrote it down. So
Wow.
it came to light, bro, and it was just like I envisioned in my head, and I can still see it. It doesn't look exactly the same as Menspire. It's a little bit more. It's actually a little bit darker and dingier, the actual vision in my head, but I definitely visioned what I wanted, and I don't know. Really, alhamdulillah, Allah has given it to me. But when you have a vision, bro, a vision is more powerful than anything.
Bro, that triggered a thought in my head that I actually also had a notebook and I had written down some. I had this one idea that I had written down years ago, and I've spoken to Owen about it so much. But I won't talk more about it until inshallah I do it one day, because I do feel like one day I'll do it. And I had this vision years ago. And it's always been in my head, and I really feel like I'm going to do this one day, but it's a big project.
Really?
Yeah, big
Hold
project.
on to that, man.
Inshallah, because I think that I'm going to do it, because I've always had it in my head, I've always wanted to do it, and it was on my head the other day as well, so I have something...
You can't really say what it is.
Do you know why, bro? Because I feel like if I say it, then I've only ever told Omar really about it, but...
You keep it close to your chest until you've done it?
Yeah, because it's a big project, man. Humongous.
Really?
Yeah, humongous, man. If I do that, I'll be...
How long have you been envisioning that?
Since I want to say, like, I've had this vision since I was like literally like 12, 13, 14.
Really?
But then I really made it into an actual like vision, like a proper thing. Wrote it down, explained it, thought about like the ins and outs and like the legal stuff. And
Really?
When I was
That's sick.
I figured that out when we had our office in Hayes, which was maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
So it's well thought out.
Yeah, it's ready, man.
Really? Does it take a lot of financial backing or anything?
About
like
£1 million.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, it takes about £1 million for it to be
maybe something for next year then.
for it to be to the level that I want it at. But I think that maybe in a few years' time I might try it on a really small scale and then scale up.
Yeah. That's what you want to do.
Inshallah, man, have a dream. It's a dream, innit?
It's a vision. So
I heard
something.
something. I heard a quote the other day, and it was a really good quote, and it said, "The dream is free, but hold on, it'd be bad because I won't be able to think about it now." And can you Google this, Nate? Yeah, it's something. Hold on, no, wait, don't there because that mashes up the audio. Let me
I was gonna look on my phone.
let me find it here.
The dream is free.
Yeah, hold on. The dream is free, but the dream is free, but the journey isn't.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think it's from like I think it potentially is from like a Christian like preacher or something. Maybe
Is it?
even. Yeah. I think so because that's where I heard it in like a program where
It's not overly spiritual, though, is it?
no, but in like there's this like form of Christianity or something where like they have like it's really like big on like motivational like preaching. Have you seen? I don't know much about it, but there's like I've seen like videos online of like people who are quite like they're like Christian speakers, but their messages are nothing really to do with Christianity.
Yeah,
like
but a lot of motivational speakers I have found to be referencing they're speaking about dunya issues and motivation and self-development, but they quite often will then refer back to the like quote from like Matthew and quotes from the Bible and stuff. I have noticed that, but I think
it was one of those kind of things.
Yeah. I think that's a coincidence, bro.
Fine.
I think that a lot of people on the forefront of success and motivation are spiritual and understand how important the spiritual side of life is to success. And I think coincidentally, a lot of them are Christian. But yeah, I've heard that many times. I think it's just
so that's where I heard it. I heard it on a program I was watching. It was like a web series that I was like, watching
so true anyway.
about something. Yeah. So the dream is free, the journey isn't. And I think that's a very good quote. And so that triggered that thought, and that's always something that I've wanted to do. But we shall see.
Ultimately, it comes from you because ultimately, no one is going to live your dream.
Man, I've gone as far as ringing the council and like figuring out like I had a very rude phone call with a council the council one time because I rang the council and I said, look, this is what I'm trying to do, blah blah, but I need to understand like the legal permissions, this, that, the other. And she said, well, have you researched it or anything? And I said, no. This like, and she goes, well, you need to. This is the council on the phone, yeah, saying, well, you need to. It's like the count because you know, like if you set up a business in a certain, because it's a location-based business, you would require like permissions from council, this, that, the other. And I said, and she goes, well, you need to, you know, go online, do some research, this, that, the other, and then call back, kind of thing. I was like, fam, that's what I'm doing. This is my research. Like, I'm ringing you to find out what I need. It was such a rude phone call. I've had to deal with a few rude phone calls, man. Like, remember
from the council?
Well, you know what? I had the other day. Do you remember on my Instagram? I put up this thing where there was that.
Yeah, of course.
There's that manhole.
Manhole, yeah. And you tagged the council into your. Yeah. Did you get much feedback?
Oh yeah, I spoke to the council, this, that, the other. So, but basically, the thing that I want to shed light on is, so I drove over this manhole. It broke my bumper and burst my tire.
Yeah.
I ended up getting it fixed. I paid for it all myself.
You paid for it yourself?
Yeah, I paid for it myself. And but the main concern for me was that the manhole was so deep that a human could fall through it, and it was so close to the pavement that all it took is for someone to step aside and fall through it. And I don't know how deep it was, but if it was deep enough to break my bumper, it was definitely deep enough for a child to die or a toddler to die. Yeah, probably. And also, in my family, my cousin had also was walking home from school once, and she fell in a manhole and died. And so I knew the seriousness of it. So I was quite like wild up about it. But at that exact time it happened, I wasn't thinking about that because I was just, my car was broken, so I was like trying to get my car fixed. Yeah. So finally, once I had my car sorted, I had to also take Omar to a doctor's appointment because he was very ill at the time. Took Omar to doctor's. So by the time it was all done, I was now, maybe an hour and a half had passed, and I was driving to my sister's house because I had to go see my sister. And on my drive, obviously, a lot of times I have time to think is on my drive. On my drive, because I'm not doing anything, I'm just driving. And at that point, I thought, you know what? Someone could fall, someone could die, this and the other. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? When I get to my sister's house, I'm going to call the non-emergency services, the 112 or something? 11.
Yeah, 112, isn't it?
Is that it? 101. 101.
101.
So I was like, I'll call 101. Reason I call 101 is because I'm not going to ring 999 and bug them because no one's like committing crime as we speak. But I think it's like the fact that someone could die is somewhat.
Yeah, of course.
So I rang 101, I explained the situation to them, and he said, why are you calling me and not the council? And I said, well, the reason I'm calling you and not the council is because I'm thinking that it might be more of an emergency than ringing the council, filing a complaint. Because I said, if someone could die. And he said, well, they do have a 24-hour emergency line. I said, oh, well, I didn't know that. Because even where it was, I'm not from that council either, so I don't know anything. And so I thought you guys were just the first people that I think to call. And he goes, all right, cool. And then he goes, so when did you see this? When did this all happen? I said, oh, it happened about 2 hours ago. And he goes, he kind of sniggered. And he goes, well, obviously you can't have thought it was that much of an emergency if it happened 2 hours ago and you're only calling now. I was like, you got some cheek, bruv. Like,
did he say that?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and he sniggered as he said it. And I was like...
How did you reply to that?
Bruv, I said to him, well, I can't remember what I said, but I honestly can't remember what I said.
Yeah.
But my point is that I'd only just like had thought about it because I was like so busy at the time. And also, how often do you go through those experiences? Not that often, so you don't really know who the correct people are. So I thought the most correct person must be the non-emergency services who deal with things like this, right? And anyway, in the end, he filed a complaint to the council. So he did it anyway. So I did call the right people anyway because he ended up getting it sorted. But you know, sometimes you just think like when people are rude. But one thing I can't stand is like when people are just like rude, especially like people who like it's kind of their job not to be.
Yeah, of course. Did you remain calm? Polite?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Can't fight fire with fire.
Sometimes you want to though, don't you?
I do, yeah. But it's not... No wisdom in that.
No good solution.
Bro, you were definitely doing the right thing, and you're doing it for the sake of the people.
I didn't want kids to die. How dare
someone laugh at you, man?
He sniggered as well. It was like a...
I would have I would have...
Yeah, I was like I was a bit taken back by his response. I was like...
It's crazy, man.
What? Here's what it is,
No,
man.
it's been covered,
Manhole.
'cause that's near your gym, isn't it?
It's right outside gym, so it has been. There was cones outside, so at the very least, it's like being.
But you're right about, you know what? Because kids love jumping in puddles, and if you're a kid walking down that road and they saw that puddle, there's no.
It just looked like a puddle.
Yeah, I know. I saw the video.
Mm.
You did the right thing.
Yeah, well,
You're a man of the people.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I am.
I think you are.
Inshallah. Inshallah, I'm a man of Allah.
Yeah, slave of Allah.
Slave of Allah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That sounds nice.
it is nice.
I said to, I was actually talking to the guys in the office the other day, and I was saying, we were talking about immoral actions and stuff. I'll generalize it because some of the stuff we were talking about was quite like like intense, but we talk about immoral actions, and you can imagine what kind of things we're talking about. We're reflecting upon like some of the immoral things that people do, and I was saying to them like, look, these things that we're talking about, these are things that our desires want to do, right? If you think about the stuff, because it gives us short-term happiness, even when it comes to stuff like maybe like drugs, alcohol, and that kind of stuff, as well as like immoral, illicit actions, yeah. Perhaps the reason that people do it is because their desires for short term make them think, oh, I'll get a bit of happiness from it, yeah. But that's why I feel like we need to be policed in some way by ourselves. Like, we need to police ourselves in it.
Yeah.
We need to tell ourselves, because otherwise, if we just listen to our desires, bro, we'd be ruined. Because like, what makes a person not, for example, do one of those actions? More times than not, it's because they tell themselves it's wrong. What tells them that it's wrong is because they're policing themselves in it. So how do we know what's right and wrong? Obviously, I was basically saying to the guys in the office, I was saying, do you guys know any human living now, that is 100% perfect? And obviously I said, we don't know anyone that exists right now that is 100% perfect. So I said, if we can all safely say that every human being is not perfect, there's not one human being that's perfect, and every human being has a weakness, then how are we supposed to know, how are we supposed to just be like rely on ourselves or human beings for like what's right and wrong? Because like no one's perfect, innit? So surely there must be like a perfect entity, or surely we should go back to the manual or the creator to find out what's right and what's wrong, innit?
Sure.
It just, to me, that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. I was literally reflecting upon this morning. It's the concept of your phone. Yes, you can pick it up and use it. Yeah. But imagine this was you'd never ever used the smartphone before. You kind of need to go back to the manual and actually really understand how to use it, because you can use it. You can kind of get away with using it without a manual, but you're going to get a lot of things wrong. Right. But you need to read something and say, how do I use this correctly? Yeah. Because you're right. There's the reason we follow something is because we can't for ourselves figure out exactly what is good and bad for us. And I think that takes a level of honesty and removal of ego to be like, you know what, I don't know, and then at the end of it takes submission. Yeah. But ultimately, like, I always say this: when I became Muslim, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that. It's not like when I became Muslim, I stopped living. It was just like when I became Muslim, I kind of understood actually there's a guidebook for me. So all these things that I was taking part in before becoming Muslim, which gave me maybe depression and whatever it was, going out drinking, partying all weekend or whatever it was. Why that actually never gave me any kind of good feeling, really, in the long scale. So when we actually look at the Sunnah and we look at the Quran and we follow it, it's not about as Muslims we can't go and have a good time. No, absolutely we can. But there's ultimately the one that created us knows what's good and bad for us. So he's simply saying avoid that because it's no good for you. Avoid that. It's no good for you. It's not like, we can't eat pork, we can't drink alcohol. It's like, we're missing out. You're not missing out. It's no good for us. You know what I mean? So it's about knowing that we don't know ourselves. We didn't create ourselves. We woke up in this world and we're here and we're living. And ultimately, the one that created us knows us better than we know ourselves. So. Shall I tell you one thing that I love about our the one concept that I love in the deen, is the concept of the fitrah. The idea that we have this. How do you translate fitrah? Innate disposition. Innate disposition. Is that what? Yeah. We have this innate disposition that where we just know when something is right and wrong. I think that anyone will agree with that, because when you do a good deed, everyone will always be like, I feel good about this. Yeah. But when you don't do a good, when you do something bad, like cheating or something, you feel bad about it, and that's what's the fitrah. That's the innate disposition. But then, do you think a non-Muslim would feel bad about doing a bad deed deep down?
Yeah, I do.
Or do you think that would get...
Because it's against the fitra, isn't it?
But then do you think over a course of time, you just...
Become hardened to it.
Your heart would become black and it wouldn't really...
Yeah,
so these people out there, like people who would mug someone and kill someone, not even thinking about it, do you really think they would walk away really feeling bad? Or do you think their heart is so black and they've done so much bad that they don't actually see the difference anymore?
I don't know about
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Because a lot of people do a lot of evil stuff and will have no conscience and will not feel any kind of remorse. And so you have to look at the condition, ultimately look at the condition of the person's heart, isn't it?
But there's also people out there who will be like, who do good because they know, because it feels good to do good.
Yeah,
yeah.
of
Like,
course.
look at like, for example, there's not social workers, like activists out there who have dedicated their life to like certain causes, like child abuse or animal cruelty, etc., etc., etc. Now, why do they do that? Because for them it feels good and right. Yeah. But I'm saying, who's put that in us to like decide that that's the right thing to do?
For sure. Yeah, of course.
Obviously, it's like that's logical, but I feel like do you know what I mean? There's an innate disposition. All of us know what's right and wrong. I think. I think,
but I think my point is it can sometimes get lost after doing.
Agreed.
But yeah, because you'd find like even when we went to Calais to the to where the refugee camps
remember,
were, and so many workers and people doing aid over there, not on any kind of spiritual quest, not Christian, Muslim, anything, just there for the people, to help the people. And they're not there for the sake of God. They're there.
And they're under harsh conditions. Like no one wants to be.
I know.
Right. So what's driving that?
What's driving them? Because my driving force is for the sake of Allah. Yeah. But what's their driving force?
Because they know that it's a good thing to do.
This is it. They must.
And that
they
comes
must
from the
find, exactly. It comes down to their fitra. They must find that. That's what they feel their purpose is, to help people without no consciousness of even God. But ultimately they wouldn't be doing it if it didn't actually make them. You know, if it didn't fulfill them and make them happy. So there's a fitra in it. Yeah. Yeah,
man. So yeah, man. So I guess the big news this week then was that obviously my auntie passed away. So it was such a sad week for our family because essentially it was like a big shock in the sense that she was 46 years old. My cousin, who you seen Haroon, who's been in my vlogs and stuff, 11 years old, proper funny kid, blah blah. And my uncle, who was in that vlog recently, the comedian vlog, is his wife and Haroon's mum. And bro, subhanAllah, I won't go into details of how she passed away, why she passed away, etc. But essentially, the point is that she passed away 46, very young, a huge shock to our family. And it's been mad, man. It's been such a whirlwind of a time. And so this week's just basically been taken up doing that. And in the sense that so she actually had travelled to Pakistan, and that's where she ended up passing away for the wedding. Yeah. And that's where she ended up passing away. And so my nan and my older sister flew out emergency to Pakistan. And so in England, the only family left that was like connected to her, the closest family was me and my mum's house. And so everybody's been coming down to my mum's house this whole week to like pay their condolences. And so we've just been like, left, right, centre. We've had guests all week, man. Just like in, out, guests coming in, like lovely people bringing food and this, and we've just been talking and like remembering her and this, that, the other. And then there was a funeral. And so the majority of this week has been like guests and stuff. Now, the auntie, her daughter, who is my age, we brought up together. She's literally like 4 months younger than me. She's back now. She's married as well. So she's back from the wedding in Pakistan and from the funeral and everything, and she landed yesterday morning. And so today she is the first person who's now back in the UK who is like literally like her daughter. And so like she all day today she's just gonna have like guests around, like coming to like pay their respects. And so I'm going there after work as well with my wife, and we're just gonna go there and pay our respects and just like see if she's okay, see if she needs anything. But it's a hard thing for like someone to go through a bit at such a young age as well. Like, bro, like my cousin hasn't had any kids yet. You know, she got married this past year and stuff. And so for her, it's such a tough thing because like her mom's not going to be able to see her grandkids and this, that, the other. And you reflect upon these things, innit?
Absolutely.
So it's quite a sad time. But also, bro, this past week, more than anything, has been such a big reminder of death. Like the biggest, bro. Like I know I spoke about death last week as well. I mean, it comes up very often, bro. But like, I was speaking to my missus, I was speaking to Omar, I was just saying like, bruv, like Allah puts people in our lives and things in our lives so that we can't go in the afterlife and be like, oh, well, we didn't have signs, because He put signs in front of us. Like, bro, when people die young, it's like, come on, that is a sign right in front of us that you could die at any point, bro. This time last year, my auntie probably thought, she's probably feeling like me, young, healthy, calm, probably thought she's gonna live for another 40 years. By the end of the year, bro, she's on her deathbed. And so me and you are sat here 2018 January thinking, yeah, calm, probably going to live another 60 years, blah, blah. Fam, end of this year, we might not even make it. And then it makes you think, like, are you prepared for your death? Because, bro, I'll tell you something, yeah, Allahumma barik, she went from being, like, completely, like, struggling financially with her husband. Like, her husband would work as a taxi driver, work in Tesco stacking shelves. She would be a dinner lady. She would have to, like, look under the sofas for change to get milk and bread, yeah, to the point where Allahumma barik, became so wealthy, and this is how she passed away, in the sense that, as in, like, this is a state at which she was when she passed away. They became extremely wealthy, Allahumma barik, through their hard work, this, that, the other, that, you know, money was no longer an issue for them. But akhi, still she went to her grave not with a penny. So as much as it's important to have that, we got to really think, what do we go to our graves with, bro? And really truly, it's only one thing, and that's our deeds. That's it. You go to the grave with your deeds. And so it's really worth thinking about, man. Like, sometimes we're so caught up with stacking P, bro. It's like, fam, like,
should be stacking deeds, not P.
Instead of, bro, like, imagine if, both, like, the amount of time I spent trying to figure out P, I spent just, like, like trying to learn Arabic.
I know that
I'd be fluent in Quran right now. I'd be Hafiz.
I know. Sad. It's a terrible condition that I'm in, man.
And if I like, for example, had memorized the Quran, for example, that's a deed that I'll actually be like benefit with after. That's a deed I'm going to go to the grave with.
I know.
And the Quran acts as a mediator for you. Like the Quran will say, yeah, he intercede for me.
He intercede in their judgment, yeah. So, but it's like our minds are just, well, a lot of our minds are just focused on dunya, building dunya, a little bit of salah, but then more dunya. It's crazy, and really we should be focusing on hereafter, bruv. Yeah.
The salah is a bare minimum, really, if you think about it.
Of course it is, man.
Yeah, man, it's fine. That's like we should be doing anyway.
Shouldn't it? Yeah. Can't we, yeah. Strong reminder, my brother.
Yeah, man. So this week's been quite slow in that regard, and then just been in the office. We redesigned the office.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, man. So you can see that we're doing stuff. So the office is much more like client friendly and stuff.
Yeah. Really nice.
Yeah, man. So it's been
good. Maintain that.
Yeah, inshallah. How's Menspire been? Because I know you went through the world's busiest period. So is it slowing down? Or
yes, it has. To be fair, it has.
But even when it's slow, you guys are so busy. But
still things going on, but it's noticeably quieter.
Right.
January is quieter. Still, alhamdulillah, still things going on, but it is a quieter month for us.
Am I right thinking you guys have an app?
Yes, sir.
You haven't pushed that at all. Is that a private thing?
No. We were going to launch on Monday. I've actually just paused it just for a few days.
Because I saw the Instagram story and I saw Mahi bossing it. And
How incredible was that? Yeah. So we've got an app, but it's not. I'm just ironing out a few things.
Could you book appointments and cancel
everything?
Yeah. That was the next step, man.
The expression "you can't be a taxi driver in an Uber generation" came into play in the sense that you got apps. Everyone's on apps. Everything needs to be app friendly, easy for the people. So
of course, man.
We're almost a little bit. We are actually a little bit old fashioned in the sense that you phone our shop and someone actually speaks to you and book an appointment. That's a traditional way of booking, which involves you actually paying someone to answer the phone. So really, app is the way forward. Someone be able to book their appointment is the way forward. And we've known that. It's just been the right time, and so we're almost there.
I rate that highly.
Yeah, almost there.
We've also got we were trying to get that. We were sorting out those guest producer stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been difficult, man. We got a lot of people submitting requests to produce, bro. But I think I bit off more than I could chew with that, man. It was hard, bro, because you're managing, like. Here's the thing, like, we have a very specific timetable generally. We have to shoot 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. On every Thursday. Yeah. And so you'd either find someone who's available in that time slot, but then there's other issues that we're trying to figure out, iron out, or like they have everything sorted, but like they're not available on Thursday and stuff like that. I forgot how hard it is dealing with people. Like, difficult is trying to sort that out and like sort people out. So inshallah, we'll have at least one guest producer before like Red comes back. But we have Mr.
Difficult time slot, though, isn't it? First thing on a Thursday morning.
Yeah, and especially a lot of people have work and stuff as well.
Most people, yeah.
But we still have Mr. Nate in the building.
Big up Nate Rose.
Didn't hear any of that.
Didn't you? What were you up to, Nate?
Just going for the current events.
Yeah. Mic yourself up, broski.
It's fine.
The mic wasn't on there, but yeah.
It's fine. And Nate, how have you been?
I've been good, thanks. Living.
Bring that mic closer, man.
Healthy.
How healthy? Have you been training this week, Nate?
Only at home.
What kind of stuff have you been doing?
Just simple press ups every day.
Nice.
Throwing them when I can.
Working on the core.
Yeah, always. And little sets of 21 that I done with you that day in the
really?
in the gym. Yeah, got my little bar.
I did them yesterday.
I love them actually. They're really fun.
Yeah.
I do them in between things I'm doing at home. I might just be watching TV or playing my PlayStation. Quick 10 seconds.
I'll rate that.
Yeah, I'll rate that as well.
I was in. So I've signed up to this gym that's like that's near work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like more convenient.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing people from our office
Training,
and training, and it's like really awkward because they're people who you see in the office building and that, but you don't really speak to, but you like see them in the lift, this, that, the other, and it's like, you know, you just go in your lift and you do your thing. And yesterday I was training in the gym and I saw this guy who like I often see like in the lift or in the cafe and stuff like that, and he like works a floor above us. And I kept like training near him, and I was like, "Oh, this is so," because we both obviously know each other. And like one of that organization, so I literally, at one moment, like he looked over and I went, "Oh, you alright, mate?" And I like made conversation just to like kill awkwardness, and we had a really lovely chat.
Yeah.
And
would you not want to just give him a nod anyway? Do you nod him when you see him in the building?
Not really.
Nah, but
That's
you're conscious of each other.
Right. So I
it's a whole new environment.
Sorry?
It's a whole new environment, the gym. I think it's quite social. I think it's healthy to have a little nod at the
I
man
think
next
so.
to you.
Yeah.
You
so,
must know that.
Well, yeah, I think the nice thing about gym is when people are friendly, because you can also get a lot of egos in the gym.
You do get a lot of egos in the gym.
So egos in the gym. It's really like awful.
Yeah.
Sometimes gym environment is really horrible.
Yeah.
Especially I hate that.
You go into that weights room on an evening.
There's massive people in there. You feel so intimidated. Yeah. Sometimes like I want to work on something and I'm like, excuse me, you done with that? But so I said, and we had a lovely chat, man. I was asking what them guys do. He's asking what we do. They do AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah, big boys, man.
Really?
Yeah, I think they work for. I can't remember what they do. They work for.
Solution.
I think they do B2B. I think, but either
Sorry,
way,
B2B.
Business to business. Yeah, but the Sam knows. I said to him, he's like, "Oh, you guys." He said something like, "You guys have a lot of." Like you guys run your business, blah blah. You like it's sick to see like, you know, you like a bunch of young guys, like you seem like you have a lot of fun, blah blah. I was like, yeah man, we love it, like we love what we do, we love working, blah blah, and blah blah. And I said I do apologize. I said we've had a lot of noise complaints in it before, so I was like, maybe we have a bit too much fun. And he goes, oh yeah, because he mentioned that he could hear us a lot, yeah. But he said like in a friendly way. He didn't say like in a rude way. Like he didn't say like, oh, I can hear you guys, shut up. He was like, oh, I can hear you guys. Like, and I said, yeah, man, but we do get a lot of noise. So I said, if we're ever too loud, literally.
Is he directly above you?
Right. I found out he's actually directly above us.
Directly above, yeah.
I believe so. And so I said to him, if we are ever actually like too loud, do let me know, because we need to care for our neighbours and we shouldn't be that loud, because at the end of the day, it is a work environment. And he goes, no. Like honestly, like we never get like offended by anything. It was just like when you guys first came in, we were like, oh, them guys like seem to be having fun or whatever. And
I suppose probably the majority of people in these offices are probably fairly quiet, aren't they?
Yeah, but also this isn't like a corporate building. This is like a startup kind of building.
Yeah,
it's like a studio.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway,
but I've nosed around, had a little look, and it seems to be quite.
There are some corporations, not corporations, but like not boring.
I get some
like dry companies, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said to him, look, if we ever too loud, just let me know. And he goes, no, it's fine. We like, it's only like if you like your windows open, we'll just like close our windows.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, bro, you should not have to do that. I was like, honestly, you should not have to close your windows. If you have to do that, bro, just come down and tell us. Like, we'll be quiet. Like, honestly, it's calm. And but he was like really like, he was like really cool.
You got to respect your neighbours.
You have to, man.
12 doors each way.
Yeah.
Sunnah.
Front and back.
Yeah, which leaves me with so many neighbours now. I'm just trying to keep, it's difficult pleasing all the neighbours.
Yeah, man. I suppose like I suppose like at the bare minimum, even if we can't go the extra mile, it's just not to
of
offend
course.
them,
Yeah,
innit?
of course. We struggle at Menspire with neighbours, not our close neighbours. We're good terms with them just because there's so many cars up and down that road.
Yeah.
And there's so many people parking up and down that road.
Oh, to get the haircuts.
To get haircuts, yeah.
Do people get offended by that?
I've had a few comments, yeah.
I mean, you're literally a barbershop.
I know.
That's hard, isn't it?
A barbershop, a fairly quiet barbershop. We don't play music or anything like that. We still, neighbours get a bit miffed. I think it's probably people live there with their families and stuff. There's lots of people coming and going.
I suppose, but your guys' opening times as well is not like you guys are opening business hours only, aren't you? So
yeah, generally 10 till 8 generally, so not late or anything.
Yeah.
We're not loud. And if you are loud, yeah. But it's just trying to keep everyone happy. There's a lot of cars going up and down it, and like even I've had comments like even like someone who's nothing to even do with the barbershop speeds down that road. People come and say, "Oh, all your clients doing this, that, and the other."
I suppose because they see like you're a young bunch and they think that you guys are causing havoc.
Yeah, I think they've got the wrong idea about us a little bit. Only a few, generally. But the point is, I'm very aware of the sunnah of trying to get off the rights of your neighbours.
Yeah,
just keeping everyone happy.
It's very important.
Very important. I think my boy is a bit loud sometimes with the neighbours.
Yeah, you know my nephew. They live in like a block of apartments, and they've got like they're on the top floor, so they don't have anyone above them, but they have people below them, and he loves jumping around. Right. I'm always like, he says stop jumping. Like they must get so
every little bit of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, I can imagine kids are in it, bro. Like what can you do as kids? You just got to tell them to be a bit careful, but kids will be kids. Boys will be boys.
Kids will be kids and boys will be boys, yeah.
How is your little one?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, he's doing very well, thank you, yeah. Growing rapidly, I think he's going to be very tall.
Really? You reckon so?
Yeah, he's quite tall already, to be fair.
For a little after his father.
Yeah. But yeah, he's good, man. Alhamdulillah, mate, dua for him.
We will do. I was about to say, Ameen.
Yeah, may Allah bless him.
Ameen.
Thank you.
May Allah bless him.
But no, he's good, man. He's good. Growing rapidly, brother. I know it's... everyone says it, but they grow up so fast. But subhanAllah, they grow up so fast. It's
like if you are with a kid and then, or you see a kid and then like you go away for a week and you come back, they've completely changed.
Yeah, you can see difference. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't it? Yeah. I know it's like my nephews all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be their weight, their looks, their hair, like
how they communicate and interact. Something I like notice more and more because he's like running around and that. And I gave him a shorter haircut, which made him look like... Suddenly, I gave him this short haircut.
Looked like a man.
He turned into like a little boy overnight. It was crazy. Every time I saw him, I don't even recognise him. He just suddenly, like, he looked like he got taller and bigger. But how he communicates and like how he talks to me, I can say things and he fully gets it.
Really?
Yeah, bruv. He'll go... Like I was saying, Zayden, go and put that coffee mug into the kitchen. And he'll get off my lap, go and get it, run into the kitchen, put it on the side, push it, and then come back, run back. And be like, wow.
You're amazed.
Yeah, it's
Bro,
great.
my smallest nephew, he's... like 7 months old and he doesn't crawl yet, but he already like he crawls but he doesn't crawl on his hands and knees. What he does is he puts his arms out and he's like slides across the floor. It's so funny to watch. He's a really chunky kid as well, like Alon Berdik. He's hench, bro. Like for you, he's hench. And so he just like he goes anywhere. Like you get your eyes off him for a second, but he's gone into the other room and he just puts his hands and then just slides his entire belly and like he's there, like it slides across everything. So it's the funniest thing. And so now you can't like not keep your eyes on him. Oh, it's the most beautiful thing, man. Seeing Allah's creation like right in front of your eyes.
This is the thing, bruv. Like I don't get it how, you know, not being God conscious and having children and watching that miracle of like you see your partner grow a baby, you see it happen, and then you see the baby come into the world, and it's just like to not be conscious of anything behind that is crazy for me. No offense to anyone, but like it's a miracle in front of your eyes. You see a whole new human being coming into the world, and like it's just where does that come from? Tell me, please tell me that. Yeah, say something. I'm saying to you.
Say nothing.
It's
I can't say anything.
What's a miracle?
A miracle is like, I suppose, something that just can't be explained.
A miracle
right?
is something that outside of the power of man.
Okay, yeah.
So a man can't create. Obviously, we help with the creation of a baby in the sense that we part of the means of it coming here, but like we didn't create the concept of a child, did we? No. Otherwise, we'd be saying we created ourselves. But it's crazy, man. There's a miracle before your eyes, bro. Mad thing.
Isn't there an ayah in the Quran maybe that says something about like does man think he created himself or something like that? I'm sure that I've read that somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
that is somewhere.
It sounds familiar, doesn't
That is
it?
somewhere.
Does man think he created himself?
But Surah Rahman,
Yeah.
it breaks down like the creation of man
Yeah,
and baby. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
beautiful, bro. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
SubhanAllah, man.
I'm going to Northern Ireland tomorrow.
Oh, to your new store, Derry.
Derry. London.
Nice.
Yeah, Derry.
Oh, that's why you couldn't do the
That's why I
podcast
can't do
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
right?
Yeah. So
So
tomorrow.
is it all done? I've been watching your stories.
Almost done. Yeah,
Nice.
we should be done for tomorrow.
When you launching?
Tomorrow.
No.
Opening tomorrow, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick.
Me and Maya
Who's
going
running that store? Someone that you know is one of your barbers. Guy.
Know who we met? I met in Dubai.
Yes.
Dan.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man.
Rate that. Sick.
Yeah.
And I'm
They're all Menspire trained, all done Menspire education. We've got a guy called Jordan who's actually from down the road. He's actually had a shop. He shut his shop to come and join the team. So we've got a really powerful, great team there.
How many chairs in the store?
We're gonna start for 6.
Nice.
Yeah, bro, it looks beautiful. I know what
Really?
you were saying earlier about the branding of Menspire and stuff.
Same.
Just
Bro,
like-
all your branding same in all your stores.
Yeah. But have you seen like
Even
I've
your
done little-
studio.
Huh?
Even not studio, sorry. Even
Academy.
your academy.
Of course. It Menspire. Yeah, it's got to stay the same, innit? But have you seen like little snippets that I've been putting in my story?
I've
of-
seen him.
You get the idea. You can see
I love it. I love it. I love the thing on the wall in the back.
Alhamdulillah. The
No,
site, the
man.
main things on the front.
But the thing is, because you didn't have the same builder, did you? Who obviously did St Albans. Okay, but once the theme's sorted,
I haven't had the same. Yeah, that's exactly the theme. And you know what? It's not the most complex of building stuff.
You say that, but when you look at Menspire, you can see that every inch has been thought out.
There's just thought behind it. But like, if each thing, if you
Yeah.
broke it down, what we see here, you see some scaffolding boards. There's some scaffolding there. There's railway sleepers there. It's all made of. It's all made of basic wood. It's just like with a little bit of thought behind it. And then it's not that difficult to recreate that. So in Dublin, whole new builder has managed to make it it's the same.
So how do you get to Northern Ireland?
How I'm going to get there? I'm going
Yeah.
to fly there from Stansted
Okay.
directly to Derry Airport, and it'll be a very small plane.
Oh, okay.
It won't be a normal plane. It'll almost look like a private jet.
And how many hours is that?
It will be about an hour and a bit.
Is Josh in the country right now?
Josh is in the country.
Okay.
Josh isn't coming tomorrow.
Okay.
Myself and Mahi and Glenn's coming over from Dublin to meet us there.
Sick. And so you always say a couple of hours there.
An hour or so.
And then you're going to be there for how long?
I'm going to be there for the day and then come back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like same day?
Same day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've got a lot on here.
Busy man.
Yeah, so it's just more like I need to be there just to see it.
Tell you what, I can't wait for Sam.
Go on.
Another 59 store.
Inshallah.
Can't wait. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I see that in King's Cross Station.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. It deserves to be somewhere like that, inshallah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, that's the next thing.
Yeah.
Someone asked me that yesterday, actually. They said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're doing so much with Menspire. What about 59?" And definitely got plans. To be honest, we were looking to do one in Dublin.
D's big enough to kind of maybe cut himself in half now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Two of him.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, he's in good shape, man.
Mubarak, yeah.
Yeah, great shape. Very strong.
You've been hitting the gym?
A little bit.
No, every day.
A little bit. And
Every
it's-
day.
Literally every day, bro.
How you been?
No days
How's
off.
it been?
Great.
Yeah?
Feel the best I've felt
Nothing
in a long
like
time.
it, man.
My diet has been clean as it's ever been. I've not had one bit of sugar in my mouth.
I love that.
I love that as well. I don't desire it either.
But the sugar, they say, isn't it? Because we spoke about before that it's the most addictive thing. But once you come off it, it's very easy to stay off it.
Stay off it.
If you slip once, though, that's it. You're gone.
So what did I tried something. I tried something the other day and ended up taking it out of my mouth because it was sweet. And I was like, I can't even bother to even have that. I wasn't even desiring it. My missus made something. I think I just tried it.
Cake?
She had a yogurt. chocolate yogurt.
Okay.
She was it was like a healthy one, so I tried it, but it's still like a sweet yogurt. I was like, you know what? I don't even want that because I just thought I don't want to start going down that road of just having loads of sweet stuff.
Bro, that actually reminds me. So I was watching this. I spoke about it before with you. You know that Netflix documentary called it's about sugar. Not what the health. It's specifically about sugar.
The Addiction of Sugar.
No,
I'm not saying it's called that, but it was.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so my point is, they were speaking about how in these families, there's these mothers who are completely confused because my children are obese and all I buy is low fat everything, and so what the experts said, they said that what you're doing is actually making them worse because what makes children fat and what makes people fat generally is sugar. Yeah. Now, he said that what these companies do when they have low fat things is for example, you see in the store, you go to stores and you can see 50% less fat, 75% less fat, and in order to keep the taste, what they do is they increase the sugar.
I know.
So it's actually worse for you. So, bro, I was like, oh wow, like that's crazy. And so I went to Sainsbury's and I was with my wife, and I use Coffee Mate for my coffee, which is like powdered milk kind of thing. And so is that
a milk alternative?
It's like a milk alternative, yeah. So I said to my wife, I said, oh look, they got Coffee Mate light. It's like 50% less fat or something. So I was like, let me just check their things. Let me see if like what they were saying is true. And bro, it was like a tiny bit less fat, but like triple the amount of sugar or something.
Really?
So the non-light one, the original one, is actually better for you in terms of sugar. So I was like, wow, I'm shocked. So
how's that just for them to do that? Even
because all they're saying is less fat.
Yeah,
and bro, that makes you think, I'm gonna be less fat.
Course.
But essentially, would you not?
Science.
Yeah, man. So you got to be very careful with that. So I would actually recommend anyone who goes to the stores and gets stuff that's less fat or like the light alternative.
Yeah.
Really look at the labels, and you'll probably notice that there's way more sugar.
Because little things like normal Coke is better for you than Diet Coke.
Really?
It? Yeah, definitely, 100%. Like that's a crazy thought. You'd obviously, the person who would choose the Diet Coke would be the one who'd want to have the healthier option.
That's what I'm saying, bruv. It's mad. It's mad.
Mad.
So people that all the time. I see them drinking Diet Coke and they don't listen to me at all.
Why is it worse for you, the Diet Coke?
I think it's got something. I remember someone told me one time. I can't remember what it is. It's got. Someone have to clarify this, but it's got other things in it. Worse, other preservatives. Worse.
It's the same as you said. It's how they try and balance it out to make it
still make it taste good, basically, innit?
Yeah.
It's just
it's mad,
terrible.
But so many times I'll see people who drink like diet drinks, fizzy drinks and stuff, and I'm like, because like they're saying, because I don't have the normal one, it's my alternative, and I'm like, man, like it's still so like. I'm just completely against fizzy drinks, man.
Have you always been? Or?
I think so. From what I can remember, bro. No, I mean, I'm sure I liked them when I was a kid. I remember like
but like as an adult, you haven't really embraced it.
I've hated fizzy drinks. Ever since I started like losing weight by not having fizzy drinks, I've never. I hate them. And you know, very rarely I'll crave a fizzy drink. Maybe when I'm at a restaurant or a wedding or something, and I have a little sip of fizzy drink and I'm content.
Yeah.
Not even a glass, a sip.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I like
it. Yeah.
It hurts my throat.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's just a lump of sugar go down your
like
neck, isn't it?
Like acid and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't often desire it, and I haven't had a fizzy drink for a minute. But it's almost like if you're going to have a can or a bottle, the amount of calories in that, you might as well indulge in something worth more than just a drink. You
know what I used to really like at uni, and I'll still probably, I haven't had one in months, but, and it is probably, it's a fizzy drink and even worse than a fizzy drink, but like a can of Monster.
Never been in
energy drink.
Never been on that.
Energy
never
drink.
Ever been on energy drink, man.
I used to love energy drinks when I was revising for uni, man.
Oh, you needed it, yeah?
Yeah, man.
I've got a client who walks in every single time with a Red Bull can, and he just has like a big crate of Red Bull. And
I know a lot of people are addicted to
Red Bull. And I'm just like, I'm not a fan.
Really? Myself, I do like them, but I have it so rarely.
Did you like the taste of it and stuff?
Yeah, but so rare. It's weird, because I don't have fizzy drinks. But it's so rare. Like, you've never seen me even have any drink, have you?
No, I used to drink them nearly every day when I was here. Remember, I used to get the Rockstar Guava.
I used to drink energy drinks a lot in uni. Like, I had a case of
Rockstar branding is good, isn't it? Like, no, is it Rockstar? No, Monster. Monster branding is good, isn't it?
In university, me and Only, my flatmate Sam, he had a Booker's membership because his dad owned a store, and we had a Booker's right next to our halls, and so me and Only went to Booker's and just bought crates of Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah.
Yeah, just in our room, and we just like back a couple a day, man.
Really?
Mad
lads.
Couple Red Bulls there. Yeah. Cheaty Red Bull.
Not good at all.
So we've been saying that we'll go shopping together for ages and we haven't.
I'm waiting for
we
you,
need to make that happen. Yeah, I'm going to holler you. Charlotte.
Yeah, where do you want to go?
London, man. I want to hit the town.
Where we go after this? Real talk.
No, we'll go soon.
Okay.
Charlotte. What's today?
In a few months.
In a few months. I need to update my wardrobe. I can't wait to throw my whole wardrobe out and get a new one.
Really? Why? What's wrong with wardrobe?
I mean, I've rinsed the clothes for like years now. I think like I don't often buy new
wear
clothes.
Different things.
Really?
The thing with you, bro, you look best in like your night tracksuits and that. So if you went and you could just go and buy like 2 outfits, and alternate.
And that's just what you used to me in. I mean, it's also a bit of a lazy look.
You look almost athletic now. You've got muscles with the Nike. It almost looks also you could be a PT or something.
It's intentional.
I'm not joking.
It's very, very comfortable.
It works if you're in good shape and you're wearing like leisure wear. You can kind of get away with it.
Yeah, I suppose. But when you
ultimately, I think you should dress smart for work.
Yeah, I should. I'm in jeans right now. Jeans and tee.
That's quite smart for you, isn't it? You're comfortable with those jeans.
Do I look smart?
Yeah. No, you don't look smart. No.
Do I look smarter than?
You look nice, but you don't look smart. What was smart?
Smart's like not ripped jeans, I suppose.
Yeah, smart would be like a shirt for me.
Yeah,
which
true.
I've seen you wear, which you look
True.
great in. But you wouldn't want to do that every day.
Nah, it's
for
hard.
you, if you wore a shirt every day, you'd lose that. So what would you do when you had to be smart?
And I can't be like in a shirt. I can't be like Faisal Chowdhury, like YouTuber kind of vlogger. It's hard because I'm more feeling smart. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I suppose it does have an effect on you, doesn't it?
I really don't like wearing suits.
No, neither do I.
I don't like how I look in a suit. I used to really like them.
Great in a suit on your wedding day, mashallah.
Yeah, I suppose if I have the right suit, maybe.
That was a good suit, though, wasn't it?
I like that suit a lot. I've already worn that. Actually, no, I've rinsed that. There's one suit that my favorite suit is the one I wore on Omar's wedding. Oh, you never got to see that, did you? Oh, bro.
Is it white?
Oh, no, it's brown. It's like it was quite like a out there suit.
Really?
But I love it. It's my favorite suit. I got so many compliments on that suit that day. I'm gonna find it while we talk.
I never ever get the opportunity to wear a suit, man. I never have.
No, I've seen you have been past.
Only
a suit.
recently is the first time I've ever got a suit.
And that you looked very good in that suit.
Yeah.
Hello, Barik.
But I don't really get many opportunities to wear it. At least I've got it now.
Yeah. The other thing with suits, bro, is that like because suits are so like fitted, if your body shape changes a tiny bit, yeah, like you either don't fit in that suit no more or like it's too loose for you. It's so you almost have to buy a suit for every occasion for your body shape at that time, unless you like are very good at maintaining the exact same body shape.
Always take it to a tailor's and get it adjusted though.
Yeah, I suppose. This
probably cheaper than buying a new one.
This was my suit, bro.
Oh, that's really nice.
You like it?
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, you look great.
I really like that
That's
suit,
lovely.
man. I'll show you another picture, close up.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I love
and
that.
the white shirt, that looks that's very nice.
My
You still got
favourite
it?
suit. I have, but
Too small
I
for you,
don't
isn't
fit in it anymore.
Of
No.
course you don't. Those arms aren't getting in that. You've been in the gym, yeah?
I've been off. I've been but I've been very. I haven't been like.
So
on
where
point
are you
like
now?
I used to.
Are you focused of a goal? Like you?
Bro, I'm
relaxed?
slacking, man. Like really badly. And my wife's really scared for me. She's like, oh, like what if you just become fat? Because I've been like making a few more excuses than I normally would. I'm like, oh, it's late. Oh, like couple. Oh, this.
How
that.
do you feel in your mind? Do you feel like?
I don't know why I've like become like this, bro. I feel
I've
like
had a few things on recently though. Still.
Yeah, bro. It's ever since I put that video out of my goal of like my 1 year gym progress.
Yeah.
I've almost like really slowed down my training, and it's either that mentally like I feel like I've got somewhere, so I'm like become lazy, or I don't know which one.
It's true.
But it could be. But I need to just like look past that, but like get back in. So anyway, I'm trying to make this week. I've been twice. I'd like to say it's Wednesday now. I've been. Sorry, I've only been one. Yeah, I've been twice in terms of my gym schedule. So my gym schedule starts from like a Saturday. So I've been Saturday and I've been Tuesday. But normally I would have been 3 times by this week. So I'm still trying to get back into it. But I'm trying to force myself.
What kind of
to
sessions? Have there been big sessions when you're doing it?
Yesterday's would be gone. The one before was gone. Yeah. So yeah.
By yourself?
But both have been by myself. Yeah.
And how do you find that compared to training with?
Nah, training with the big boys there's nothing like it, man. And we do like 2-hour sessions, our big boy sessions, amazing. But
Do you push yourself as much when you're not with them?
No,
it's
I
impossible
don't.
to, isn't it?
Impossible.
Yeah.
But I also have to be somewhat reliant and like independent, because bro, I don't always get the opportunities to link them, man, and like train anymore. But inshallah, tomorrow's Thursday, and Thursdays they do a big back session, so I'm planning to do that with them tomorrow, inshallah. So yeah, man.
Back tomorrow, yeah.
Inshallah.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I need to get like you everyday gym.
I did. You know, I saw PT yesterday, and he goes, "What's your fitness goals for this year?" And I said, to be honest, I don't want to think about anything other than trying to maintain the mindset I've got now for being healthy and being active. Because I'm not even talking about 6 packs or arms or nothing like that. I just want to like be active, be like constantly going to the gym, eating clean. I just want to maintain that mindset, and I'm happy. Does that make sense?
What's motivated you? What's motivated you to get this, to have this new mindset?
I let myself go at the end of the year terribly,
really?
knowing that I'm going to just pick myself up and get on it. Yeah, but that's
At
what I'm
least
not. Unfortunately, I'm like one or the other, bro.
That's
You've seen.
I'm similar. Like I think me and you have similar personalities. Like, which is why when I started going to gym, I like became crazy about it. But then when I fall off it, I fall off really hard.
Yeah, but it's almost like if you're like that, embrace it when you're on it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. Like if you're like that, if you know, like for me, because me and Ollie are quite similar in the sense that Ollie works with me. We both have we like to eat food.
Yeah,
but we can put weight on very, very quickly. And it's always a constant battle. It's never just like we can just eat whatever and whatever. And it's like we're both in a situation now where we're just trying to just get back into shape. And
I see that because Ollie's body shape changes drastically every time I see him.
Really?
Sometimes he's like looks really good. Sometimes it's like he's like, but like so he's always he looks like he could
one extreme or the other, man. It's the same as me. So it's almost like when you've got the mindset to be healthy and go to the gym and like eat and train well, just embrace it as much as you can because you don't know how long it's going to last for. But ideally, you want to be able to have some longevity and consistency with this mindset. But that's what I'll be honest, that's what it's like, one or the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just a case of always trying to perfect yourself in mental, physical, like spiritual ways, isn't it? We're never going to be the most perfect person, but it's nice to try.
Yeah, but you get the best feeling from trying self-development.
Yeah, man.
It's just
best feeling in the world.
Bruv, like spending too much time like trying to invest in things that aren't myself, and really the best investment you can make in yourself is you. Yeah,
it's true.
And it's cliche to say, but it really is, and that goes on mind, body and soul.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Mind, we need to be gaining knowledge, whatever that knowledge may be, but making sure we're feeding the mind. Body, we need to be training, and then soul ultimately is salah, reading the Quran, learning, you know what I mean? You get those three things locked, you're going to have a happy life.
You're very happy life.
But it's about getting those three things locked correctly. We know it, but it's, you know, when they say mind, body and soul, when you get those three things locked, you've got nothing to worry about. Also, when you're training and when you have that strong mindset, it's very, very difficult for shaitan to have any kind of effect on you. When you're strong, when you're physically strong, and Allah says in the Quran about
strong believers.
Strong believers, yeah. And it's so true. And it's almost like if you train hard, and I'm not in this category, but if you train hard and you're strong enough to put yourself in the gym and you're strong enough to lift those weights and you can really push yourself, you're strong-minded. It's gonna be very difficult for that weakness to run through you and shaitan to have any effect on you.
You know what I've been thinking recently that's been motivating me in the gym? At the point at which you're lifting the weight, you have to mentally really be like on point and motivate yourself, because at that point if you're mentally weak, they say, Ajmal always says to me, lift it in your mind first then lift it, because if you lift it in your mind you're going to lift it physically, but if you don't in your mind you're like you won't lift it, and it's worked so much. So when you're just at that point, just as you're about to lift it, you need to remotivate yourself, like get angry almost. And recently what I've like been thinking about just before I lift the weight is I've been thinking about the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, but generally about the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, because I was at a class recently and the Sheikh was saying about how all of the prophets were physically very strong. They were strong, like they were like strong in their iman, strong mentally, but they also physically were strong. They could they walked with the presence in it. And so that motivates me because I want to be like that.
Yeah, done though, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
you see the descriptions of like Musa alayhi salam's body and even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I haven't seen the description of Musa alayhi salam's body. No, but I can imagine.
They've all. The descriptions is all just like flat stomachs and strong, bruv. So you can kind of almost imagine it.
Yeah, so the Prophet had wide shoulders and that, innit? Yeah.
You can imagine even like Silverback Ajmal. Like you look at him, bruv. Like his strength and his beard, bruv. It just oozes strength, bruv. Mashallah. Do you know what I mean? It's a good look, man.
It is.
It's a good look.
It's something that you like, innit? So inshallah, it's something that you would like to have.
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I mean, for myself, I don't desire to have huge muscles.
No, but do you know what? You have a presence because you're so tall. I can't increase my height, so I might as well try and increase my width. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, we mentioned Nate the other day, by the way, and he's like larger wingspan wise than he is height wise.
Serious? So I thought that was your height.
No, we checked his height, and he's 6 foot. He's like 6'1.5" in height.
Yeah.
And in wingspan,
it's nice to stretch. Actually.
It does, isn't it? In wingspan, he's 6'4", going on 6'5".
You're 6'1".
Oh, 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot like 1.5. Rounded up 6'2".
You have got quite long arms, haven't you? Oh, that's felt great.
Yeah. I actually, speaking of like what feels great, I need to visit the men's room.
Okay.
So
fine, we'll just pause it there.
It's a good time if you want over an hour.
Okay, perfect. And then let's go into some current events.
Jeez,
after this, yeah? Alright.
Cool.
He's 6'6" and his name is Sam. He's a big, big man. Sometimes he can be scary. Very, very scary. It's Sam. Douche.
Are you okay?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
We're about to head into some current events. Current events.
Nate Rose.
Before we head into current events, Sam, I just want to mention something quick. And that's that if any of our viewers head over to patreon.com/freshly grounded, they get a bunch of perks that they might be interested in. They just get to help out the old Freshly Grounded, keep running like clockwork. But above that, by being a premium subscriber or a patron, by going to patreon.com/freshly grounded, that's patreon.com/freshly grounded, you get the episode of Freshly Grounded 1 day earlier than everybody else. You also get exclusive discounts from Freshly Grounded merch, sometimes on Izaha and 59 stuff as well, every now and again. You also get behind the scenes clips of Freshly Grounded. You get exclusive Freshly Grounded videos and exclusive Freshly Grounded content. And if you go one tier higher than the normal tier, you also get, not only do you get all of that, but you also get the Freshly Grounded episode ad-free. No ads at the beginning, no ads before current events. You just, yours and I's beautiful voices. So if you're interested, head over to patreon.com/freshly grounded. Support the ting. What we got, Nate?
All right.
Are you unmuted?
I am.
Nice.
I think. Yeah, cool. We're going to start you with the Australian flu symptoms, which has spread over to the UK.
Ooh.
Because apparently...
That's a long journey for a flu to travel, isn't it?
I know.
From Australia to the UK.
That is a long journey.
Must have been a passenger on the flight, surely.
Yes, 24-hour flight, that is.
Um,
It's a good one.
But Australia suffered their worst case of the flu in a decade, and now it's over here. But there's nothing to worry about, as it is just a normal flu virus.
Nathan Rose with all the good news. See how he did that? He built that story. There's an awful flu that's been the worst in Australia for 10 years and it's travelled over to the UK. But there's nothing to worry about.
It's not, because the symptoms are your everyday flu that you get. It will say it lasts a week. It would only really affect you if you're a child or
There's been a lot
elderly.
of illness going around recently, isn't it?
Mm.
So what, do they just not get flu in Australia for it to like be so bad for them, but for us it's just nothing to worry about?
You wouldn't think so.
Either we get a lot of flu or they just get none.
Because is their weather there consistently hot?
Maybe, it seems like it. When I think of Australia, I do think of
Not
sun.
all of it's whole time.
Depends where you go. At night time, it can get cold.
But I've had loads of people who've been ill from work. Loads
been
of people,
ill, man.
like
Always
for
been
days,
ill.
for days. Yeah, I almost been ill. But
Why's-
is that not
why's
from the
been
Pakistani trip?
Yeah, actually,
Sunship.
yeah. But I've been ill, like as in flu, and so has my
Flu-y.
wife,
Yeah.
me, a couple people I know. People been off work. You saying?
Yeah, man, for days though, like big illnesses, people have been bedridden for days. I thought I was coming down with something yesterday. I started feeling really hot, feeling really sick. I started panicking because I've got things to do. Alhamdulillah, it went.
Alhamdulillah.
Panicked for no
Maybe you
reason.
have a strong immune system. Do you
I
have a
think
strong immune
so.
system? I don't ever see you ill, bro.
Nah,
Think about the amount of episodes that we've done Freshly Grounded where I'm blowing my nose, or I'm like
Yeah.
blocked up.
I do.
I've never seen you like that. I know,
occasionally
Vedic.
do, not often. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, just a bit of a rubbed out tummy maybe sometimes.
But yesterday I was thinking because I was aware that everyone was the same kind of illness. I was thinking I'm going to drop. But yeah, it literally disappeared. I had one client in who made me laugh, and almost like the illness had forgotten. Everyone thought I was just, because I said to him, "Hey, look, I'm getting ill, mate." And I was thinking, I felt really bad. I felt had a laugh with this client, and it disappeared.
Sometimes laughter is a good medicine.
Yes, not too much though.
Not too much. Got a lot to
Love a
worry
bit of
about as well.
laughter.
So there's been a flu in Australia. What else we got?
My
Yeah,
sister's
and
in Australia.
Really?
Yeah,
Living there?
traveling.
Nice. I want to go to Australia one time.
My
That's to be
sister-in-law
careful.
is there as well.
Really? Together?
No,
I'd like to go to Australia.
Yeah, it would be sick. I feel like this sounds very what's the word? I always forget words. Like that word. I can't remember what the word is, but when you like trying to be a bit prestige, what is the word called?
When you're trying to be prestige.
Like when you think like when you're like a bit like
Big time.
whatever. I don't know what the word is yet, but I know this sounds a bit like extreme, yeah. But if I was to fly to Australia, I think I would actually like save up to make sure I had like business class, because 24-hour flight in economy, that's tough.
give me a quote of the business class flight.
I'm not sure how much it is.
I say, get me a quote
And
for next time,
Yeah.
and see if you hold to that.
What do you reckon? It's like £3,000-4,000.
I think it would be a
24
huge
hours,
amount of money.
24 hours,
For
bro.
business class, I think it'd be huge money, and I think you look at that amount of money and think, do you know what, I could probably do this, that, and that. 24 hours of slight discomfort, like most people do,
Your knees
will be
will take
okay.
it.
But the other side, I'll have
Probably.
thousands and thousands of pounds saved.
That's true. You could shop for
just
that.
due to that little 24 hours of slight discomfort.
It's true.
Yeah.
But bro, 24 hours though, you know.
You're not gonna remember those 24 hours after that.
I don't think I could ever pay that much to fly.
It is a lot of money.
Mate,
I've never
unless I
done it,
become ridiculously filthy rich, I want to try and keep my travelling on planes to like economy, because the cost I think is so absurd how much more it is. I think I'd much prefer to have that for something else. Although
sometimes they do deals where it's like 2-3 bill.
Well, yeah, if it's that's fine. But you quite often it's thousands and thousands more. It's like for that little short term discomfort, I think I'd rather hold on to it. But then if you've got lots and lots of money, and that's not an issue. That's another case.
It's true.
I prefer to get the other side and make sure the hotel is.
Yeah, that's true because you can live there.
Yeah.
It's 24 hours though.
You'd forget that 24 hours after 24 hours.
All right, moving on from the Aussie flu, as it's dubbed. We're going to go on to Christmas talk here. Because it says the majority of Brits unable to pay off Christmas debt before April is... Our research finds that.
How much debt does the average person get into, does it say?
It's just under £400.
Oh, £400
average
debt?
Yeah. Is like a loan takeout that they take, average.
So please, swerved all that.
And
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. No, but that's mad though. Like that
crazy.
people there's
but
a debt and they can't pay off till April.
I've always clocked that since young. Like families, that you have the pressure. You have to buy not only your close ones, but it's almost you have to buy people around you gifts, and these gifts aren't cheap. You don't want to buy someone something really cheap, so you got to spend money. People spend, and the pressure of people having to spend a huge amount of money at Christmas time.
Shocking.
It's shocking, man.
Bro, I actually remember a few years ago, this advert came on straight after Christmas time, and it was an advert that said, next year, don't get yourself into blah, 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 start from now. And it was this service that from December till the next December, you pay whatever, like 20 quid a month or something. I can't remember how much it is. And then by December, you have all of your gifts ready, because it's a service where basically you spread the cost over the whole year. I remember that's how much people get themselves in debt.
Yeah, so people already save up for Christmas now, so they start already. And want to guess the percentage of how much it's gone up by since last year? People in debt.
Oh, people in debt. I want to say 10%. I don't know. It's a random guess.
No, wanna have a guess, Sam?
20%.
No, it's 46%.
46%?
Wow.
Just since last year?
Yeah.
That's
quite bad.
Crazy.
Yeah, it talks about people going into overtime with their job or getting an actual second job. 8% of people have got a second job just because of Christmas.
The Christmas gift.
Shocking.
That's crazy.
Just because of Christmas. Yeah.
That's mad, bruv.
It's not my problem.
Alhamdulillah. What's the word I was trying to think of earlier?
Prestige, I think, was the right
No,
word.
it wasn't.
I think it might have been.
No, it's not.
I'll come back to that later.
Yeah,
after we.
It wasn't.
Alright, something a bit more. Where are we? Alright, moving on to coffee and Starbucks. So it looks like Starbucks are going to charge you extra 5p for coffee in a disposable cup.
Yeah, bro. Have you heard about this? This must affect you. Have you heard about this new law that's possibly? There could be a levy on. They're calling it the latte levy
to be able to get rid of the cups properly.
Yeah, because people are it's just affecting the environment too much for these coffee cups. This must be affecting you. I don't know what the situation is when this law is going to start. Does it say anything like that?
It doesn't say anything about a proper law, but it just mentions how Starbucks failed last time when they tried to sell the the reusable cups for £1, or they used to sell, and they cut them down to 50p, and they still weren't selling. So people just don't care.
Reusable cups, yeah.
Yeah, because I would never vote. Me personally, I'd never constantly carry a coffee cup that I could wash.
Yeah, no, yeah.
This is so. I mean, yeah, I know. Sorry, I am probably bad for the environment, but I wouldn't carry that.
I saw someone. I was in 59 the other day. Someone came in with one and got it filled up. And I thought, that's the first time I've seen it, but it's not a regular thing. Someone actually had their coffee mug on them. I think it's a great thing to do. But no, it'd be the most inconvenient thing ever to be able to carry around a coffee cup.
Yeah, it mentions
always holding a coffee cup.
It mentions
wash it,
Pret
like-
found a bit of success in it though, because they
They did?
actually reduced they get like 50p off if you bring in your own cup or something
That's
like that.
good. That's a good idea.
Instead
I
of
like
charging
that.
you
I like
5p extra.
That's a
you
good
know.
idea.
That's very good.
That's a very good idea. I like that a lot. That's helping the environment. I guess, yeah. And I'll tell you what else, yeah. The most I do is when I get a coffee cup, I do try my best to put it in the recycling bin. Because nowadays when you're out and about, there's always a general waste bin and recycling bin. If I have a coffee cup, I will do
Yeah,
that.
of course. If you can get the opportunity to recycle, you should.
And I do understand that like that coffee cups is one of the biggest like environmental issues right now, because like there was some fact about like just thousands upon thousands of coffee cups a day are just like dashed and like affecting the environment. But I feel like business-wise, it's a bad move for Starbucks, man. Because that kind of stuff is the kind of thing that does put people off. Like, coffee shops are so oversaturated in the mainstream market in terms of these big brands, Starbucks, Costa, Pret, that if there's, and you'll often find there's a Starbucks and a Pret right next door and stuff like that, and so that kind of thing, just paying an extra 5p on a coffee cup, is the kind of thing that would make somebody, like for example, yeah, I'll give you an example. Costa have just started doing coconut milk, and but they charge 45p extra if you want coconut milk or your coffee, and it's like, bro, if I was to go downstairs to the downstairs coffee shop, or if I was to go to 59, or if I don't get charged extra for like being more healthy, for example, or like getting a different type of milk.
It's a lot more expensive milk, to be fair.
Is it?
Yeah. We should, but for that exact reason, I don't.
But yeah, but it's put me off though.
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. You've got to be
Yeah.
careful with things like that, because that's why I don't, because it's a lot more expensive for me to go and buy these milks than normal milk.
Yeah.
A lot more expensive. But ultimately, I don't think it's just to charge more on that coffee, because of what you're saying now.
Honestly, as a consumer,
Yeah, no, you've got to be careful with these things.
45p. And every time cause I've bought 2 coffees from Costa in the last couple of days where I've had coconut milk, because I couldn't wait for them to have coconut milk, because I love coconut milk on my Costa. My coffee. And they, on my way into work, there's a Costa drive-through.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I could sometimes in the mornings grab
So you're put off by that extra little charge that actually has an effect on you.
Yeah, it's actually got me a bit. I mean, I'll still get it, but I
you
I
don't
thought
like
that's
it.
a bit dear, man.
Yeah.
Even if they said like 10p, I'm like, alright, fine. 45p, it's like, that's quite chunky, man. If you're getting a coffee every day,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
that is chunky.
I agree.
Downstairs, they don't. So yeah. Anyway, I
So
think
as a
like,
consumer, you're very aware that that extra little bit, you're very aware of, like...
I am, because it's a coffee. Because
Imagine
you know
if
what?
let me ask you a question. It's slightly off this, but it's connected as well.
Yeah.
If I said to you, for you to book an appointment as for a haircut would cost you an extra money, what would you say?
To book an appointment.
Yeah, just to book an appointment doesn't affect your haircut price at all, but you actually have to pay a booking fee. Like if you were...
No, I wouldn't want to do that at all.
No, of course you wouldn't. You'd put you off as a consumer. Yeah. Or to the point where you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but here's me, because obviously, if you think grand scheme of things, yes, 45p is not a lot of money. I agree, I understand. However, with coffee, you often compare a lot of things with the price of coffee, don't you? For example,
It's true.
I could say to our Patreon subscribers, you can subscribe to our Patreon for around $5 a month, yeah, which is the same price. Which costs you less than 2 coffee cups.
Mm-hmm.
If you to get medium coffee from like these places, it will cost you less than 2 coffees, in a month.
Yeah.
You could subscribe and support Freshly Grounded. That's like me comparing it, because everyone understands the price of coffee.
Yeah, of
really.
course,
So
of course.
it's like a general thing.
It's general,
Now,
yeah.
so
Universal.
because of that, like, if you were to say to me, if I was paying something like 50 quid for something, and you say, oh, there's a 45p charge, fine, I understand. And bro, I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot, because I run businesses where I charge delivery and packaging costs.
Packaging costs.
Packaging costs. So
How do you work that out?
how do I calculate
Yeah.
it? Well,
Does that go into the product cost, or is that
no, there's extra. It's extra people have to pay.
so is it extra two? Is it delivery and
No, it's one cost extra, but it's called postage and packaging cost.
Mhm.
So that's cost for my postage, for my courier company, for like the packaging equipment, this, that, the other. So there's a postage and packaging cost.
yeah?
So and I am very much aware that often that would put some of my consumers off buying a product, because it's like, oh, now I have to pay this extra $5 or whatever, right? I understand that. I also see that like it's so often I'll do like deals where I'll do like free shipping, this, that, the other. However, I see that as a bit different because maybe I'm just being contradictory here, but if I'm spending 20, 25 quid, 30 quid, 45 pound, etc., etc., it makes sense. And if also it's a delivery cost, it's being shipped to you. If I'm at the coffee shop and like I'm paying £2.50 for something, I see 50p more as quite a big
it's true.
chunk of money.
It's true.
I don't know if I'm just
in
being
that scale of things. No, it is. I hear you.
Because it's a very small scale of money, innit?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'll be like, I've got £2.50 minutes enough to get a cup of coffee, grab a cup of coffee. So I don't know.
I hear you. I hear you. I kind of understand what you're saying.
I would, but like
as a consumer, you're very aware of those extra charges.
I think so for some reason. The other thing is though, the 5p bag thing never ever got to me, and the reason is because I know 5p is a short amount of money, but also because I lived in Wales for 3 years, where in Wales the that 5p thing is law. It was being law in Wales for way longer than
used to it.
Way longer than it was in UK.
Right.
So when I was so used to it that when I came to the UK, when I moved back to London, and bags were free. It was a bit weird for me, if anything. So 5p coffee cups is not the end of the world. Makes sense, trying to help the environment. But business-wise, they could lose customers only because there's so many other big chains out there.
But that 5p annoyed the heck out of me. Only because it messed up my change. Because it used to give me like a million of 5p's. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? It's just like, instead of getting 150p coin, it's like 5p's everywhere. It's like,
I tell you what, it's rare, but I appreciate it when I go somewhere they don't charge me for the bag. And I actually appreciate not being charged
the
for
local
a bag.
boss man.
Even though it's 5p, I swear down, I do appreciate getting a free bag.
You know, if you go to Oxford Street and like Regent Street and stuff, a lot of like high street shops have their flagship store there, and you'll find that they don't charge you for 5p for bags, because that 5p is only for plastic bags. And a lot of, if you go to a flagship store, they often have like a flagship bag, which is often like a paper bag or something.
Oh, is it only for plastic bags? Yeah,
it's only for plastic bags.
Makes sense.
I also am aware that coffee cups are not cheap,
especially beautifully branded ones. Like 59.
I don't know.
Overpriced, if you ask me.
Yeah, they're good though, man. Like this is think about how much promotion coffee companies get by just like in a video someone's drinking a coffee and it's all branded, their coffee brand, or like in a picture, and like it makes a massive difference. It's definitely, coffee cups is one of those things that's definitely worth the cost because it's everywhere. I don't know. Anyway, what's the next current event?
The next one we got is a man who claims he can unlock his wife's iPhone X with his own face.
Wow.
Well, according to Apple claiming the chances of bypassing the facial recognition feature are 1 in a million. Phil Bland told The Sun he discovered he could do this just by a glance.
Oh, if he just goes at that, he could do it. But if he stares at it for a long time, he can't do it.
Yeah, it wasn't working. But he also said that because he uses his wife's phone like all the time when he used to have the recognition with your passcode.
Yeah.
So he feels the phone has made it believe that it's his. And now it
I might try that with Omar's
lets
phone.
him unlock the phone.
I don't think it'll work.
No, I don't think it'll work either.
Yeah.
Really?
So he's able to unlock his wife's phone just by looking at it. Maybe they look alike. There's no pictures here.
Maybe.
Remember last week's current events? I think it was last week when the guy who attacked his girlfriend for getting
£2. Yeah, Steve.
I actually saw the article not long ago. He's in prison, isn't he? Got in prison for it.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
But you're up for a link set. But I saw the picture of him and everything.
I think I did as well.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that in quickly.
That's calm. She's probably not paying off any debt.
I doubt it, mate.
£2.
And then she had a huge debt from last year. I thought, do you know what, this debt is too much. I'm going to get him spend £2 on this links can. He'll be blessed. Yeah. Didn't work out for him.
I hope she's okay. She obviously assumed the best in her man, thinking that he wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah.
What's the next current event?
I'm moving on already. Alright. 1 minute. We've got 3 more. Save that for last. Alright, this one's a bit... Waiting for it to load back up. So there's another police manhunt.
Okay.
For a guy in Cambridge.
Uh-huh.
And he has splashed a family of 3 with a 20-foot puddle, purposely driving through it.
Oh, really? Oh, and the police are hunting for him?
Yeah. It's a criminal offence.
Really, is it?
Comes under abuse for GBH, whatever it is.
Why did you do it on purpose?
Because it's apparently it's a clear 20-foot puddle, and you could see it, and he decided not to slow down. He's fully gone
That
straight
would have
through.
caused some damage, to be fair.
And there was
Them in muddy water. That would
a lady with her 2 kids, one's in a pram, and one's...
Oh, that's not good, man.
And
But I get that's not nice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
how do we know he did it on purpose? I'm saying.
I'm not the one
The-
who invents, look at me.
what it
Sam.
says, how they've come to the conclusion is the puddle was so big
Yeah.
that he could see it from,
Okay, fine.
Right.
and he still decided to fully go through it
So
without
maybe
slowing
he
down.
wasn't conscious of the
avoiding
people
it.
on the side of the road.
Sometimes just
So I've been licked for those puddles a few times, and the feeling is
I've jumped
horrible.
over a couple.
Have you ever had it? Have you ever been? Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
You
Buses.
feel like horrible because they carry on driving. They don't even know what they've done, and yeah. I got splashed yesterday. To be fair,
Really?
my foot got splashed quite
Oh, so
badly.
it's very current for you.
yeah,
It's
so,
very.
yeah, literally.
Do you know? It's very current for me as well. The reason I have this guilty face is because the other day I was driving and there's this big puddle.
You're horrible.
And-
You do it. Something. I'm gonna say, where was this? Where was this story? Where is this place?
It's in Cambridge. Where was you?
Yeah, no.
How did he know?
Do you know what? So there was this school kid. He must be like 15, 16. Yeah, he's in school uniform, and he's standing on the side. And I'm driving, and I kind of clocked the puddle a bit too late. But kind of, if you were to watch the footage, if there was like CCTV footage of it, it kind of looks like I had enough time to clock it. But for some reason, my mind frame was right. And there's an amalgamation of things. But in the grand scheme of things, I think I probably did have enough time to analyze the situation
How
and
did
not
you
do
feel
it.
when you did it?
Anyway, so as I'm splashing him, I'm like miming. So I'm like, sorry. Was that too late? I'm like, oh. And it splashes him a bit. And I looked at him. I can't stop my car. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, it's okay. It's okay. He's laughing.
Okay.
But I kind of really did splash him like a bit bad. And I felt so bad because I honestly did not mean to do it. And I felt so guilty. Bless him because I was like, oh, that is so. And he was in his uniform, which he probably has to like wear again tomorrow.
Of course.
I felt really bad, man. He's by my in-laws' house. So yeah, I did that. I didn't mean to though. If you're listening to this, mate, I'm sorry.
Sorry. It doesn't sound like he minds too much.
No, he was kind of laughing. He's like, it's alright. He was a bit like, oh, and then like he saw my friendly old mug. I was like, oh, he didn't mean any harm.
Of course.
I couldn't hurt a fly, Sam.
I know. I agree.
If I tried, the fly would probably hurt me back.
I agree with that.
Quite soft.
I agree with that.
So. Did you know actually? Speaking of that, because I remember because Nick just said that it was like GB, it can come on like GBH, ABH, or whatever. I think it's probably battery because when I was studying law, did you know that cutting somebody's hair without their permission comes under battery?
Was it?
Yeah. So assault, by legal definition, is just apprehending fear upon someone. So if I go boo and you get shook, that I've assaulted you. Yeah. I don't have to actually physically touch you to assault. Once I've physically touched you, there you go. No, it's still just assault. There you go. Now once I've physically touched you, it's battery because I've touched you. And so if I cut your hair without your permission, there's a few things. But yeah, battery. If I just snipped at your beard there, Sam, you could do me with battery.
I would destroy you.
Yeah. Yeah, and fear, apprehending fear, literally by just making a phone call and saying, I'm coming for you. Yeah, that voice.
I would hate that if you did that.
I'm coming for you. Yeah? You would...
Battery.
That's assault.
That's assault, sorry.
That's
That's assault.
So there you go. Learn something new.
I know to avoid battery and assault.
Yep. That's how you... So, but you're obviously a barber, so you probably cut people's hair with permission.
With permission, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. You probably got proof of that as well. Like they booked an appointment.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. What's the next current event? Big man Nate.
Make sure we are.
Oh, he's currently doing producer stuff, such as setting up cams to make sure that you look
Trying to do
pretty.
2 things at once. But this next one, I believe, is more shocking than that links
Oh,
thing we
really?
had. Yeah.
I don't even know what it's going to be. I actually don't.
Did you not?
No, I haven't actually
As
read
it-
any of the current events. I haven't read them.
so petty as well.
I've seen like bits, but I haven't actually read the current events, so I don't know. I'm
Well,
trying to think, but I can't think.
that is the headline.
What's the headline?
There's a boss travels 500 miles to beat up a customer who left a bad review for late delivery.
For late delivery.
Wait, but the boss is a male and the customer was a female.
No.
There's video footage of it as well.
No way.
He punched, or slapped, kicked to the ground, took a bag as well.
What on earth?
Because she left a bad review for the late delivery.
It's extreme.
That's a justified bad review as well.
That's battery and assault.
Yeah, and then
Wanna-
some. That's GBH
And
and ABH.
Wanna have a quick,
yeah, ABH.
Check this out.
And theft.
You would take a bag?
Take a bag, yeah.
Yes, subhanAllah.
Let me get it up for you guys.
That's no joke though. To be
No,
fair.
it's no
That's
joke. It's
really
no joke. It's no
horrible.
joke. It's no joke. That's awful.
If I can make this full screen, I don't know if I can. But hey, look, it's in China, I believe.
What? It looks like it's been shot in a studio.
Yeah, it looks like it's been shot in a studio.
It's off the CCTV. footage. Yeah,
Oh, it's based in China, yeah?
yeah.
Oh, I see.
500
Wow.
miles for that, yeah? Idiot.
What? And then he took her bag.
Yeah.
Why would he take her bag?
Faisal, I don't know.
500 miles. What is that like? What's the distance from here to Scotland?
It's about that, isn't it? Maybe 300 or something.
He's got time on his hands, man.
Yeah. So
I hope he gets.
poor Zhao Li, eh?
Is the review still up?
The review, no.
What did it
it's
say?
not.
So what was the review? So what was the company? Go on, give us some
One
deets.
sec, I'm getting them now.
That's insane.
It's insane. Quite literally.
That is
I just
insane.
had it. I
man.
read it. Where is it?
Even if you just take the fact out that he traveled 500 miles, or the fact that she's a woman, just the fact that he beat someone up, even itself. The other things just make it worse and worse. But the fact that someone left a bad review of your company and that's how you deal with it, and it sounds like a justified bad review. If the thing was late, she's literally probably just.
This is why she
Yeah, so
complained.
go ahead.
Well, basically, Mr. Zhang, who is the owner of a retail company, his delivery to her house was 4 days late. So that's a right to complain, surely.
His delivery to us. Okay,
Really?
fine.
Yeah, so she
That's
complained
a right to
about
complain.
delivery, which was 4 days late. Everyone would complain about that.
And
I
he went and beat her up.
Yeah,
That is shocking.
in his suit.
Yeah, in his suit.
I don't know what to say, Faze. What's the world coming to?
Exactly what I was going to say.
Say the same thing I said last week, Sam. People need Iman. Mad.
It's crazy, bro.
But look at that. The CCTV footage of it, he got exposed.
Is he getting...
It doesn't say
Something
anything
for it?
about him, but his name's Mr. Zhang. That's all I can get from it.
Shame on you, mate. Ultimately, he'll get what's coming to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's really twisted and evil, to be fair. Going to
Yeah,
beat up a
man.
woman, yeah.
Publicly. Like
Sort your
that,
delivery
so
out.
Makes it worse.
Yeah, sort your delivery out.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah, if you don't want bad complaints, sort out the root of the problem.
What do you expect?
We've got one more for you.
Go on.
Go ahead.
And this is kind of related to what you was talking about, the miracle of life earlier. And people are just oblivious to it.
Mm. Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I don't.
But this one's a bit mad. I haven't read it, but I saw the headline. This one's a bit mad. A bit confused. I'm interested to know about like how it happened, but yeah.
Why is it not the headline? There we go. Here we go. So, mum stunned after finding out she is pregnant just 45 minutes before giving birth.
I've heard this many times.
Really?
Yeah, man.
How do you go through that whole process of
You're
not...
like, bro.
It's not uncommon, bro. I've heard it many times.
Really?
Yeah. I actually watched a program on it. This woman, she didn't realise she was pregnant until she went to the toilet and started giving birth.
Oh yeah, I've had that one.
No.
Bro,
But
yeah.
would she have
and
to
this was
be...
just after I had a baby. I was like, how would you go through that process and not know? This is the question asked because a woman goes through all sorts of things, obviously, physical, mental. So to ignore those symptoms,
But she must have been like a biggish woman then if she didn't
ultimately
notice.
you would be a larger woman.
No, but there's other obvious factors that show you that something must be up.
Well, she had
Yeah,
stomach pains and stuff like that, but she just...
Ultimately, when you're not having your period as a
Yeah,
woman,
that's what I
would
mean.
be the first thing you'd question.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it stupidity? I'm not sure.
I think they weren't thinking about it either because she decided not to have kids with her husband as well, so it wasn't even on her mind.
How old is she?
45.
Okay,
Oh,
so she could
45.
be thinking that she's going through.
Oh wait, yeah, it's around
maybe,
45, sorry.
Huh?
She's about 40 something, yeah, 43, 45.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Man,
A shock
imagine
to the
that.
system.
Like, what shock! Like, and then all of a sudden, there's a new like
You would
human
have
in
thought
your
you had
life.
some real bad indigestion for because you'd be kicking around and stuff. Man.
Yeah.
I think the shock came to the place of work that she worked at 'cause she called them up the next day, sorry, I've just had a baby, I can't come in.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like, what? But then she went to have another child after that with her husband, so You know, they have 2 kids.
Okay, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice ending to the story.
It's a nice ending story. But yeah, I heard the story recently. The woman went to the toilet and started giving birth.
Wow.
It was total shook out of the blue. And the question is asked, how could you do it? But evidently it happens.
Yeah. The work would have had to give her maternity leave, and that reminds me of a podcast I was listening to yesterday, a few days ago. I know we're kind of really moving topics, but it's interesting because you're a businessman, Sam, and you have employees. Allahumma barik. And it's this businessman who is quite old now. I think he's maybe retired, but his philosophy is quite interesting. So he basically said that. So he runs a very successful, outwear clothing brand, like as in like they do like mountain climbing jackets and stuff. Yeah, extremely successful. I think they made like millions and millions and millions even just last year. Last year was the most successful year. And he's been questioned about, he was being interviewed, right? And they were asking him his philosophies and stuff, and he said one of his philosophies is that he hires extremely independent employees. And he gives them a lot of independence. And he said that a lot of people have tried to copy him in that regard. And he gives them, like, for example, he tells them things that they have to do. Like, for example, like sometimes he will say to them during, like, when it's like the surfing period or something, he'll tell them go surfing and that kind of stuff. And basically, like, you know, like this ideal scenario that a lot of people talk about, I want my employees to be like, I want to be like the boss that, you know, is really cool and this, that, the other. And so people have tried copying him, and he said that he's always told them, if you try copying me, you're going to fail. Mm-hmm. Reason being, he said, you have to start from the first person you employ. He says about the people you employ. Then you can have that. Because while he's extremely nice to his employees, he's been very specific as to who is hired. And so they have the personality where they can be independent. But so he's basically got these people who, all of my independent people and this, that, the other, so he could trust them. One. Second thing he does is he has this season where he shuts off from work. He takes about from June until September or November, he doesn't work completely. And he calls into the office 3 times in that period. And bro, this guy has one of the most successful businesses in the world. And the interviewer said to him, how are you able to do that? Like, and his reply was, the type of people that I've hired, he said, obviously he's quite old now, by the way. He's not like our age, he's like a very old man now, so obviously he also wants to enjoy life. He said so for those 3 or 4 months, he just every day he's fishing in his country house, blah blah blah. And he said that the reason is because he's told his staff, if the warehouse burns down, don't call me, I can't do anything about it, like sort it out, innit? Which is true, because if the warehouse burns down and they bail him, what could he do? Yeah, he can't make the warehouse again. They know they've got all the tools in the world. So they're so independent. They can run the company, all of that. They know what to do. Yeah. So if think about 59, for example. If let's say 59, for example, ran out of coffee beans, which obviously is just absurd because it wouldn't. But it makes no sense for the people to ring you, does it? Your management to ring you, because you can't make coffee beans. It makes sense for them. So essentially, he set his business in line so that it's very independent now. It's very self-running. And
yeah.
It's a very successful business. It's called Van. I'll find out the information. But there's a few. Oh yeah. Also, he's got this thing where in his office they've built a creche, like a child care center. This is sick. Yeah. So his wife has built a childcare centre in his building. Yeah. And all the employees are encouraged to bring their children to work that are 0 to 5 years old. And what they do is they not only... because he said that he found out a lot of people wanted to bring their children to work. Yeah. And at first they would like just bring them to work. And at first it was alright, like, because he has hired people who get their work done and stuff. So he's like, at first it was okay, but eventually it started becoming really loud, this, that, the other. So he said his wife built a creche or nursery in the office. And so now imagine you can bring your children to work, leave them downstairs, know that they're being looked after, and then maybe you go for lunch, take them up. Now listen to this. He said that every single child that comes through though, it's not a babysitting centre. He said they get educated. Even from 0 to 5, whatever age they are, they're there and they read stories, they taught lessons, whatever. And so he's like built this little like thing where he said everyone that comes into our company, whether they're baby or employee, anything, they come in and they come out like a better person, basically. Wow. Even the children. Wow. So he's built this, not a babysitting centre, he's built this education centre kind of thing, where for the children of the employees. Wow. And
that is incredible,
bro. Incredible story, bro. And I urge you to listen to this podcast because I know you don't really listen to podcasts. Do you have a podcast app? You do.
Yeah, I do.
And he is the owner of a company called Patagonia. Heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of Patagonia. Yeah.
He was, and his name's Yvonne.
Yeah, I know that brand.
Bro, it's only a 25-minute podcast. Very short, very inspiring. You would love it. I'm going to send you the link.
Please do.
What I'll do is, before we go, I'll put it on your phone because I don't have to send links for podcasts.
Yeah.
And there's a few other things that he said. He said stuff like, for example, he doesn't really care how much his employees work as long as they get the things done.
Yeah.
And these are typical like things that people say, but they don't manage to implement them. Because it's very hard. You can sit here and say, yeah, I don't care what my employees do, when my employees are in, as long as you get the work done. But bro, you have to put these things into place. And there's a reason that like stuff like the 9-to-5 job has been made such a popular thing, bro, because you have to put things in place to make sure your people work, innit?
Of course.
But he has managed to find that way of doing it. And he said the whole way it is that it starts with the first person you employ.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I admire that a lot.
Yeah. There's a few other gems in there, man. Worth listening to. I'll send you that.
That's amazing.
It's a podcast called How I Built This for anyone who wants to listen.
How I Built This.
This guy Raz, he interviews. It's a very popular podcast. You would have heard about it. Like a lot of people would have heard about it. But he interviews some of the biggest CEOs in the world. So he's interviewed the CEO of Airbnb, very inspiring story. The CEO of Home Depot, very inspiring story. All of these big companies.
Cool, I'm gonna jump onto that. That sounds good.
Both some of the biggest companies, like not just these small type companies, but big companies like. Some of the biggest in the world, basically.
I'll jump onto that, definitely, inshallah.
Yeah. But anyway, listen, guys, this has been episode 42. It's been a great little FG sesh. Inshallah, next week we should have some guest. At least time for a guest. So, inshallah, we'll try make that happen next week. I've been Faisal Chowdhury. He's been Sam Palmer. And this was Freshly Grounded. We shall see you next week, inshallah.